Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe, guys. Give me 15 seconds. Just 15 seconds. I'm gonna keep talking though, but give me 15 seconds. Make sure you hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I have to just respond back to something real quick. But you have a point, but this. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. I'm back. Happy Sunday. It's March 1st. A happy new month. Happy new month, everyone. Again, happy new month. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. All that good stuff. As people come into the chat room, thank you for joining us on this first day of the month of March. Now, Q1 is almost over. Again, Q1 is almost over. Y'all, the year is going by. The year's going by so fast already. Like we're already in March. We're already in March, man. Goodness. Jeez, we're already in March. That is using the white man calendar. What calendar am I supposed to use? What calendar am I supposed to use? Now help me out. So it's interesting. So when we were in Ethiopia for a layover this past November, like in Ethiopia, it's not 2026. I forgot what year it is. Again, in Ethiopia, it's not 2026. I forgot what year it is. It's like I don't know. I forgot. Is anybody that is familiar with the Ethiopian calendar? Please put the year of the please put the year that we're in Ethiopian time. Yeah. I mean, what calendar am I supposed to use? I'm sorry. We on the Roman Greco? Was it the Greco-Roman system? Again, Is it the Roman Greco system we're in? Calendar we're using? I forgot. Is it the Roman Greco system that we're using? I forgot whatever. But yeah. A couple of announcements, y'all. We are rolling to where are we going next? We're going to Senegal. We are rolling to Senegal in May 9th through the 18th. May 9th through the 18th. We are rolling to Senegal. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Africa. Gregorian, thank you, the Gregorian calendar. But that's like the Roman Gregorian calendar. And it's 2017 in Ethiopia. Yeah, so we are rolling to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. That's May 9th to the 18th. May 9th to the 18th. We are rolling to Senegal. Please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn more, everyone. Also, we are rolling to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. In August 2nd to the 11th, we're rolling to Zanzibar in September 20th to 29th for Safari Blue. Then we are rolling to Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Sierra Leone in November. Please visit donfo.africa to learn more. I gave up on the beard, y'all. I gave up on the beard. Guys, give me a second. I gave up. Yeah, so no juices and berries. I'm just gonna have to go to Turkey and get the transplant, the transplant situation. Again, I'm just gonna have to go to Turkey and get the BBL for the beard. Again, I'm gonna have to go to Turkey and get the BBL for the beard if I want that to happen. I gave up on the juices and berries. All right, we're just going to keep the goatee and see what the goatee do. That's all we could do. That's all we could do. Guys, I'll put the link in the chat room, but if you guys don't know, Traoré made a deal with Trump. I know that's not what many people were expecting. And it's aid. And we've had our conversations on aid in this chat room. On this channel. We have had our conversations on aid and how aid is weaponized, but I guess Traoré saw the value in getting, I think it was like $168 million in U.S. aid. And it's supposed to be for healthcare. But, we've had these conversations in regards to doing for self and not allowing the West to interfere in our affairs. But it's interesting because to the south, you have Ghana. And Ghana, they just made a deal with France, the colonial country that Burkina Faso kicked out. Then Ghana, they made a deal with Burkina Faso in regards to security. And now Burkina Faso has made a deal with the U.S. for health care. But let me pull this up, guys. I saw a channel this morning and they went into detail about it.
I haven't been to the grocery store in over a year, but I'm eating healthier than ever. Here's how I did it. Meal planning used to be such
fair use. First post, fair use.
Hello and welcome. We begin in the Sahel, where the lines of global influence are being redrawn in real time. Ibrahim Traoré has officially pivoted east for security, but he's keeping a door open to the west for his country's health. Burkina Faso signed a major public health agreement with the United States. The memorandum focuses exclusively on disease prevention and regional health security. Now, according to the U.S. Department of State, the agreement aims to improve Burkina Faso's ability to prevent, detect, and respond to infectious diseases, including HIV/AIDS, malaria, and future outbreaks. The framework runs for 5 years. Under the deal, the United States intends to provide up to $147 million. In parallel, Burkina Faso has committed to increasing its own domestic health spending by approximately $107 million. By the end of the agreement, US-funded laboratories and health officials are expected to be fully integrated into the Burkinabe system. Now, the deal allocates around $12 million specifically toward broader global health security initiatives. That includes strengthening clinics and laboratory systems in Burkina Faso. The agreement also supports Traoré's presidential health initiative, which includes plans to build 55 new medical centers. For the Trump administration, the deal falls under its America First global health strategy, which aims to contain outbreaks before they spread globally and eventually reach the United States.
This MOU reinforces regional health security in the Sahel while advancing Burkina Faso's capacity to independently manage infectious disease threats before they reach our shores.
The agreement comes after several years of strained relations between Ouagadougou and Washington. Tensions began in 2022 when the United States suspended military assistance following the coup that brought Traoré to power. In 2023, Burkina Faso lost its preferential trade access under the African Growth and Opportunity Act, the AGOA Act. In 2025, relations deteriorated further. In April of 2025, the head of US Africa Command publicly accused Traoré of corruption and facilitating foreign influence. And later in October, the United States suspended visa services for Burkinabe citizens. Now, both sides are re-engaging, but carefully. So, what explains this shift? Analysts describe it as strategic compartmentalization. While Traoré has adopted a sovereign foreign policy stance, his government appears to be separating security, infrastructure, and health into distinct tracks. For security cooperation, Burkina Faso has strengthened ties with Russia and Turkey. For infrastructure development, it continues engagement with China. And in public health, it is now maintaining structured cooperation with the United States. For now, the message from Ibrahim Traoré is measured but clear. Burkina Faso may have shifted its security alliances, but it has not closed every channel to the West. What happens next will determine if the sector-by-sector balancing act holds, or if the rivalry between the East and the West will force them to pick a side once and for all. Now, for more on this, we have with us Dr. David Matsanga, an African affairs analyst and political scientist, who joins us live from London. Welcome to First Post Africa.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Right, Doctor, let's jump right in. Given Burkina Faso's growing security ties with Russia, how should we interpret this 5-year health cooperation agreement with the United States? Is it purely pragmatic, or does it signal a more nuanced foreign policy strategy by Ouagadougou?
You know, Burkina Faso is a non-aligned movement. It's a country non-aligned under the few countries in the world under non-aligned movement. Therefore, this is not a surprise. There's an open door diplomacy pressure coming from the United States that has put on the Sahel region. I've been in that place and I will be going there in the next 2-3 days. There is that pressure that is coming that we must also come back here. We must also do that. But above all, the medical system of Burkina Faso, this gentleman, the leader, the president has bought over 800 ambulances and more mobile units. So it needed some support. There is no country in Africa that is completely free, that is able, apart from South Africa, which...
Well, then my question would be, why not get the money from China or Russia? Why the US? If they already have these agreements with China, with Russia, why not ask them for the money? Hell, even Japan, I don't know.
Can sustain its health and systems. South Africa can do it, but the rest of the African countries can't do it. So given this, one, Burkina Faso is a non-aligned country. It can deal. The biggest problem of Burkina Faso is France. It has not been America. America came in as a collateral damage, but it is France that they were not very much interested in. And American diplomats have been around that area, making sure that they do backdoor diplomacy to make sure that they bring back Burkina Faso.
Right. Right. And to what extent does this agreement reflect Burkina Faso's continued dependence on external technical and financial support to manage infectious diseases and then to strengthen its fragile health system, particularly in the Sahel region?
As I have said, the entire Africa, apart from South Africa, have very weak systems. You know, we have a center for CDC in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, but we still rely on external sources to bring in equipment, to bring in medicines. You remember on COVID, we were helped from outside. There was nobody who had his own COVID vaccine. So all the systems in Africa, except South Africa, have, even South Africa during the COVID days, they had a problem. So Sahel region is part and parcel of that problem, which has been there for years and years. Therefore, I think the president of my friend Traoré balanced this and said, well, we need people to come here. It didn't come from the French, who are their arch enemies. It came from Americans, and they have accepted that, and it will help. It will go a long way to help the system. But one of the problems why most African countries seem to be shining and running away from this program is the question of data, which America has not completely told what is it that they want with this data. So people are getting scared, because if you get the data of every African and you put it in your bank, that's where the problem is. That's why you see Zambia, you see Zimbabwe, and rejecting, saying no. If you have access to our data, it could be used anywhere. So it is not one. It is one of the worries, yes, of this program. Yes.
My journey into trading, like that learning curve.
Go ahead, Wabo.
Oh yeah, what's up, brother? Thank you for the platform. Yeah, this is just pragmatism. Based on the article I read, it's just a memorandum of understanding. And when you look legally, that's one of the most loosest agreements that you can have. It's about to be just a test run for a 5-year test run to see how things go. But anybody that's criticizing it, the fault lies back on us, because we haven't established the medical technology to go and help an entity like Burkina Faso, if we're talking about like Pan-Africanism. So the emphasis has to go on us if anybody that's criticizing it. I think that the agreement that he engaged in is something that's loose enough to where if he sees that things are going awry, he can easily get out of it. It's not binding. But yeah, when you are in the political and economic state that most African countries are in, you're going to be beholden to certain powers. And I think they're going about it the best way possible. Diversify your partners and look for the best deals possible. And he's trying to make things pragmatically good for his people. So that's miles and leaps and bounds ahead of any African leader right now that's outside of the AES on average. So I'll let somebody else speak though.
All right, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I don't buy it. You know, I think that he was threatened by Trump, and you know, with Trump going around picking off these leaders, you know, guy in his position. Because think about it, the USA, we don't make deals with leaders that come into power through a coup. There's no legitimacy to his presidency. Since when does the U.S., you know, go into an agreement with an illegitimate leader, at least illegitimate in the eyes of the U.S.? I've never seen that before. This guy was threatened, and they probably told him, "Okay, you're going to save face. You know, we're going to play it off like this is an agreement for a health initiative, but behind closed doors, we want to put France back in." That's what's happening, because it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense for him to have any dealings with the U.S., especially when it comes to vaccines. I'm not even surprised, because Trump is out here just taking leaders, taking them out.
Brother, it's the MOU though. It's not a legally binding agreement. That's what, like, you have to look at the terms. The memorandum of understanding is loose. It can be dissolved at any moment.
I don't know if that's how the U.S. works though.
I mean, but that's what a memorandum of understanding is though. It's not. They haven't. It's not a deep fleshing term. That's why I know that's why if this was not an MOU, then I would get called.
It's not a contract that's binding. It's only a pre-agreement in principle.
Principle, yeah. It's like a handshake, basically. It's just a handshake on paper. That's it.
All right, go ahead, Bobo.
Yeah. I hope I get the same grace everybody else got. Hey, at the end of the day, Abraham is the leader of people. He have to lead his people. He have to do what's best for his people. Why not get America help as far as medicine? Why not? Donis, you said, why not go to China? Why not go to Japan? Your hatred of Trump and America will make you make a bad decision.
Who said I hated Trump and America?
I mean, so why would you say go to China? Go to
they already have agreements with China and Russia, so
obviously they don't got nothing going on though. Obviously they not. Why not take the help you can get? Why is it got to be why not go somewhere else? You're getting help from the strongest nation in the world.
Yeah, but Volvo, I guess the AES, they were supposed to be this anti-West, remove the West, kick out the West. So them going for help just didn't. I mean,
no. Listen, this 2026. Y'all still living in the past. You go with the West. That's what you're supposed to be doing right now. If you're trying to dig your people out of a third world country and bring your people into the 21st century, you go with the West. What the brother said earlier is true. All of the smart Africans are in the West. Yeah, it should be programs to to go get doctors trained in America. These smart Nigerians and all these people they so good and they do so much better than Black Americans. It should be y'all should agree with this. It should be a program to where we train them and send them back home so they can bring the medicine and the knowledge and the know-how back home to Africa, right? Because that's really the goal, right? That's what y'all claim the goal is. So it should be you go with the West. This is 2026. Say 1926. You got to go with the West. So why not take the help that this guy's offering? Like and another thing, Trump is right. Trump is the leader of the world, of planet Earth, whether you agree with it or not. Trump is the leader of planet Earth. You think Trump want another COVID? COVID messed up Trump's presidency for real. He had America humming. He had it going. You think he want another COVID? Donis, you've been to Africa. I ain't never been to Africa. I can only see the images. I see the dirt roads and the no sanitation and all that. That's a breeding ground for another COVID or SARS or another Ebola or some shit like that. You want something like that to break out? If we talk about globally, this is a global community now. If you right now, I can leave. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. I can leave right now, go to Cleveland Hopkins Airport, and I could be anywhere in the world in 24 hours. And whatever I got on my hands, whatever the disease, cough, or whatever I got, gonna travel with me around the world. So yeah, Trump is right. He supposed to look out. He said, hey, it's not sanitary over there. It's not, there's things going on. Let's help them with that. I noticed Trump ain't lift that travel ban though. And I bet you don't got no video for that. So yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. Let me say this, right? It was something else. Yeah, all of y'all smart Africans and y'all doing so great in the West and y'all so smart and all this shit. Y'all got to go home and bring the medicine back, bring the know-how back, bring your ingenuity back. Y'all doctors, lawyers, and engineers, right? Engineers solve problems. Y'all got to bring that stuff back. So yeah, of course he's running a country. We're just on YouTube talking about this shit. He's running a country. He's responsible for millions. The guy is smart. You supposed to take a deal. You don't go look to China and Japan and you like just take China, Japan, anybody but America. No, the most powerful man on the planet is want to do business with you. You is a nation leader and he's a nation leader. There's two bosses. Yeah, we supposed to be able to work stuff out. See, a lot of people can't put their hatred for Trump aside in order for policy or to do business. And that'll make you make a mistake. Me, as a business owner, as a small business owner, right? I got to do business with people that I don't like all the time. People that don't like me.
30 seconds.
I can put my feelings to the side to handle the business because I'm a man. I'm a reasonable man. And in business, you got to be reasonable. So I like that he did that. Y'all probably think that I'm against Africa, so I'm rooting for them. I'm not an African. I'm not going over there, but I'm rooting for anybody that want to be self-determined and help their people. Appreciate you. Let me speak.
I'll go ahead, Elvis.
All right. Thank you, Donis. Hello to the panel in the chat. I like this move by Traoré, and I think most people have to understand that most African countries do, they do internal, audit of themselves to see where they're lacking. And for most countries, it's their healthcare system. And if you have the best military or you have a well-equipped military, but your people are dying from common diseases, then you're not really serving and protecting your people. So I think when it comes to healthcare, this is an important move because Burkina Faso and most African countries, especially in West Africa, have poor healthcare systems. And this is why the United States is a great, great nation, because they can help you in so many different ways. You don't see China really sending doctors to Africa. You don't see Russia sending doctors to Africa. What Russia would do, they would sell you arms. They would take money, they would take your gold and give you weaponry, but they're not trying to save the lives of your people. They're not trying to help you raise your infant mortality rates, or decrease it, so to say. So all of these things is one of the reasons why the United States has been so great, because their soft power, using diplomacy and using aid to really foster good relationship with nations, is the reason why there are more, there are more nations trying to attach themselves and associate themselves with the United States, especially, in other Western countries like Sweden and other countries that bring aid to the continent. So I think the posture that he's taking now is one that I've always wanted to see. Look, strengthen your military, which is fine. As a military man, you want to always have a strong military, but care for your people in the social services. Whether it's healthcare. I know they're good at farming, but I'm sure they probably want some, agriculture improvement. He's doing a lot of things that's going to help his people, and that gets my approval. Not taking such a militaristic, a posture where it's like you're trying to fight the West or you think they're antagonistic and you're trying to arm yourself to the teeth. That's the wrong way to go about it. I want to see other Africans like Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali. I want to see them prosper. You think I want to be watching on TV rockets flowing into Burkina Faso like it's happening in Iran? You think Russia's lifting a finger to help them, even though they sell rockets to Russia and they buy rockets from Russia? It's not going there to help them. Right now, they're leaving them to to fend for themselves, and they're getting demolished, in that little scrimmage with the United States and Israel. So I'd rather see my African brothers use their minds, play strategic, have things that would benefit their people at the same time protecting themselves. And I think this is the best pathway forward. Thank you, Dennis. I'll pass the mic.
Go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, greetings. I hope the body fine, Dennis. Everyone on the thank you, sir, and the panel and the chat. Yeah, I mean, this is where me, Elvis, and CD, we stood. This is the ground, and also Brandon. At some point, I always said this. I want the best for the brother. I want things to work for AES, but they have to choose their partners wisely. You cannot just box yourself in one. Put your whole entire eggs in one basket. Okay, we all know that because if anything happened, then you're effed up. You can choose Russia for military wise. You can choose the United States for example, Medicare. I'm not really sure why the United States for Medicare because they're not one of the best in the world. But you can choose the US as a different partner. You can choose every. Don't let them box you in one corner because you're gonna regret it. And the reality is, for example, in Sierra Leone, we have the United States of America who is helping us to rebuild our grids for free. They're not asking us nothing. They're not getting it. In fact, the amount of companies the USA got in Sierra Leone is very minimum compared to Britain and other countries. But they're actually helping us reconnect our grid to Ivory Coast so we can have electricity, and that's already helping the local, countryside, having electricity from those systems. So, but however, the only my only worry is that the French are not using the US to come back to the Sahel, because I heard what Marco Rubio said quite a while ago. I'll repeat that again because I said it in the past that we will do anything to help our French allies, regain, their influence back in Africa. And if that's what the Americans are doing, then that would be really disappointing. But if they are coming to help Burkina Faso and the poor Africans, absolutely. And also, people should, bear in mind, Elvis made one point about the health. America is worried about so many tropical disease, so many type of disease that can come up and could spread all over the world. That's one of the reasons why they spend so much money, in the global healthcare system to protect that coming in, protect it, entering their land. But we did had some questionable investment of medical labs in Sierra Leone, Liberia border. Before Ebola, outbreak happened. Some people said it was just rumor. I don't know if it's a fact or not, but basically the lab that was set up there, not long Ebola outbreak spread in that region. Before that, we never had Ebola in the entire West African history. So there's something to be cautioned about. So I'm not gonna be entirely, 100% saying yeah, it's a good deal for now. Let's watch and see. But I think AES should broaden their wings. Okay, they should broaden their wings. They shouldn't be locked up into one-sided alliance. And also, we know for a fact Russia and
30 seconds.
Okay, no problem. We know Russia and America, and China, they might look like enemies from the outside, but when it comes to Africa, I don't think they're actually enemies. Okay, simple as that. Thank you.
Let me read the super chat. Taraka 3897. Thank you for $2 holla. Iran getting demolished. We shall see. And Taraka, I got to call you back. I saw you got called today. Go ahead, Brandon.
Diners, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear. You ain't on your Getro today. Go ahead.
I'm on a chain phone, brother.
There you go.
Hey man, I know for years I've been coming up here, and for years you've been wanting somebody to just prove me wrong. Please convince me, Prince Diners, that Brandon is not always right. I'm sick of him getting up here with his arrogance and his prophetic reasoning and wisdom, making us all look silly. Now, Diners, did I not say that it was going to come to this? Did I not 3 years ago say?
Well, in defense of the pro Traoré, the people who are pro Traoré, this is just an MOU, memorandum of understanding, and I guess nothing's been signed yet. I don't know, but go ahead, Brandon.
When we cheered Traoré, well, I didn't. it was with the understanding that Traoré was going to totally reject the West in the name of building with other African nations and pursuing partnership deals with the East, Russia, China, etc. Slowly but surely, Traoré is coming along back to the West. Because let me tell you, we don't know what Traoré sees when he's making these deals or going to negotiate with these other countries. But there's something Traoré's seeing with these other countries that made him say, you know what, I'm going to at least open up talks with the United States of America. But I want you to pay attention to one thing. I'm gonna put something in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the countries that Iran bombed in their attempt to retaliate against Israel and the United States. They bombed Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, and the list goes on, right? All the countries they bombed have aligned themselves with the United States of America, so much so that they allow the United States to have bases in their country. Every last one of those countries is in the top 20 when it comes to the richest countries on the planet, Dinus. Understand that. Kenya, right now in Africa, is probably the fastest growing outside of Rwanda. It's probably the fastest growing country on the continent, right? And they're going to do well. Every country around the world that aligns itself with the United States, they prosper. Traoré's best bet, in my opinion, if he wants to rule for a long time and truly lift a large amount of his people out of poverty quickly, align with the West, let them put a base in your country. That immediately creates jobs, Dinus. The threat of Islamic radicalism will be totally eliminated. The Islamics they don't come nowhere near where those American bases are. On top of that, Dinus, the United States wanted to use a base in the UK as a forward base to bomb Iran, right? The British are total pussies, so they didn't want to let the United States use that.
Brandon. So update. Britain is going to allow the United States to stay.
No, now
Yeah,
they
they
are.
just
But
did.
They
Yeah,
did.
they just did.
listen,
Thank you,
but
Dennis. Thank you.
at first they were trying to reject. They rejected it, bro. I'm speaking on fact. Initially, now that they see the war is going in the favor of America and Iran already declared them a terrorist organization, now they're saying, okay, you can use it. They hate us anyway, no matter what. I do my research. Now, Dinus, Traoré should allow America to put a base in Burkina. That could have been an alternate forward base for an attack such as this against Iran. The UK will not stand on business because they're too caught up in wokeism and DEI garbage, right? Africa could present itself as the common sense alternative to the craziness that is going on in Western Europe with the DEI and all this funny, duddy, silly putty, squiggly letter people stuff. That will move Africa into a premier position as an ally with the West. And guess what? It's stable. You don't have to worry about a bunch of LGBTQs overthrowing the government or the government trying to capitulate to the trans movement or anything like that. Traoré needs to align with the West, move his country all the way out of poverty, get his country going, and just, live it up, man. Anybody who thinks otherwise is an idiot. I'm saying that full stop.
No, go ahead, say James.
Hey, hi, Donis. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Guys, hit the like button. And guys, if you have not hit that like button, please hit that like button. And then, if you're new, join the family. Go ahead and subscribe. All right, go ahead, say James.
All right, thanks for having me. I've been listening, and it's quite interesting, right? So I'm hearing that Burkina, the AES, as a global, should let America put a base in the region. So I'm happy to see the Americans are in Nigeria. So we're gonna see how that plays out. So it's gonna be the premise of our conversation, right? So if they do better in Nigeria, then we can have a discussion. How about that, right? So that situation that you are talking about, right? Burkina Faso is going everywhere doing the same conversation with everybody. They have been doing this for a very long time. You can see in July of that last year, the Russians and the Burkina have struck the same deal. We have the same deal with Cuba for a very long time. We were trained by Cuban, Russians back in the 80s, 90s.
I can guarantee you, most of the good doctors that came to Burkina Faso, they came from Cuba and Russia. You might not believe it, but that's what that was the case, right? So Traoré pivoting towards America, I don't know. I would say America is pivoting towards Traoré, right? Because Traoré never left. Traoré never told no one that he doesn't want to do business with them. If he said that, I would bet anybody to pull out anything he said about not trying to do business with anybody. You can't find no record of him saying that. You know, America in Burkina Faso is showing what the man is doing. They're seeing that the guy is serious. He means business. He cares for his people. And he wants to do the right thing. Americans loves that, so they found a way to help them. So anybody that is sitting here and telling me that, okay, as it is right now, Traoré is gonna sign something to undermine his people is very crazy right now, right? You don't know the man. He'd rather step down than doing this. You understand? So I can guarantee you, most of the people who are talking about that did not even read anything about this thing, but they're here conveying an opinion that don't even exist, right? But I have to accept it because everybody has an opinion. Sometimes it stinks. Sometimes you got to go by what it is, right? So I'm telling you, is America pivoting? America didn't do this before, right? When there is a coup in the country, America has a clear position. They don't want to do business with you until you bring order back. They chose not to do that with the AES because they took the time, they studied them, and they understood these people did not lie to the people from the beginning. That's why America is putting his neck out to vouch for this new approach, right? This new approach meaning we can go towards these cool leaders and do real business with them because we have studied them enough and we don't see no weakness coming from their part. Basically, that's what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Shaw.
Okay, thank you. Greetings to the panel and to you, Dinus. It took 10 drafts for the United States to get it right with the MOU, to propose the final MOU. It took 10 drafts with Zimbabwe, I believe. Yes. After that, the drafts was basically saying, okay, we're going to get all your information about your disease and other information, and probably digitized too. And whatever outcomes we get from the information we get from you, or whatever innovations we have that could help you, you don't get none of that. And by the way, we'd like to do this deal with this with your minds and stuff as part of the deal. You see, if you're trying to help somebody or trying to at least come, evenly, like come straight up, you're not going to try to do a health deal and then do a mind deal. If you want to do business, let's just do business. Why you got to do the health? Because when we look at the history of the Western world and Africa, if their idea, I mean, not their ideas, but if they were trying to do at least fair business, Africa wouldn't be where United States is and has corporations, wouldn't be in the condition that it's in today. Went to Zimbabwe, this time $1 billion, right? They did the same exact thing there. And I think that Zimbabwe had enough history with that, those long sufferings of embargoes that went down after they took their land back, that they're like, nah, we might need it really bad, but we've suffered and we've gone through shit and we've turned things around. Things are better than it used to be. It's still things need to get better in Zimbabwe, but they're better than they used to be. Now they go to Burkina Faso. For anybody to think that African country is going to prosper all of a sudden because they see that these guys are serious and strong, I think we need to be more skeptical and we need to be more careful. And I'm not saying that they're not doing that, but I'm saying I think we should be more on the side of not only cautious and skeptical, but reserved and dealing with them from a very long handle. Now, in the case of Burkina Faso, nothing. They made this deal 147 million, and they put in maybe 12 million themselves. Burkina does, and they're not sharing any data. There's no data sharing, although let me correct that.
there is data sharing going out one way and digital. They're digitizing and they're sharing their data. That is not good. That's a problem. And then it is undisclosed whether or not there's any mine deals, right? And something else is, there's two things that's undisclosed. One is it's not been mentioned to the public whether or not there's any deals with mines and business. And I think the other is the pathogen. It might be the pathogen sharing or data sharing. But anyway, this is the little research that I found, and I think that, and I'm gonna land with this point right here, that Burkina Faso knows what it's doing. I believe that they know what they're doing, and they're willing to do that. And I think it's more than just the health reason. I think it's also a political reason that they're doing that. It buys them more time, because the Western world is surrounding them. United States is surrounding them. This buys them more time, and they can get some good things out of it. So hopefully they'll be smart enough to protect their information from the Western world, and maybe do it in a limited way.
All right, my kind of mind. Go ahead.
Can I just say one thing to what he said?
You got 30 seconds.
Yeah. You talked about doing business and not doing mine deals. What else do they have to pay with? That's part of business. You got to pay.
Well, they're not doing it as a pay. The United States is not going there saying, hey, we've got some health services that we want to offer you, and you just need to pay this much. No, that's not what they're doing. United States is going, look, we got a lot of money, and we could, I think it would benefit the United States, because the whole thing is said to benefit the United States by us monitoring your pathogens and what you're doing. And by the way, here's some money that you could help build your health system with. But we get to monitor your stuff, and you're going to send the data over to us. Now,
so we gotta monitor your stuff, send you some money, and we don't get nothing back.
No, because you're coming to me. You're coming to me.
They want the data, brother. They want the data. The data is valuable.
Don't the data help you too?
It's goodwill, building diplomatic goodwill.
Sending other people your data is not good.
Diplomatic goodwill. Yeah, I'm glad y'all not running nothing. I'm glad y'all not
sharing data with the African countries.
All right, guys. Let me pass the mic. My kind of mind. Go ahead.
Good night, guys.
Hey.
And good night. An amazing topic, but this is what I want to say. This is an amazing deal for Burkina Faso. And you guys, I think this is my second night or third night, so you already know I think a little different than you guys. But let me tell you why this is amazing for Burkina Faso. First of all, Russia and China is helping Burkina Faso. The whole world sees that, right? The whole world sees what happened with France and, Africa kind of kicking colonizers out. So by Traoré accepting this deal with America, whether whoever came to who, is so smart for him, because it's showing America we don't have any issues. Like, don't come at us with any issues. Don't try to overthrow us. We're good. We respect you. We're willing to do deals. We're open to whatever's going to help our country. And then someone mentioned this. Traoré is about his people. Trump is about his people. So if Traoré reached out can I get a $66 million investment? I'm trying to do urgent cares, do something with our healthcare system where everyone has access to healthcare. That's $66 million that Traoré is about to get for Burkina Faso. First of all, that's amazing right there, with no crazy commitment. I know a gentleman said it's just an MOU. So there's no lifetime guarantee. He's really getting $66 million to invest into the healthcare of Burkina Faso. And this is where I don't want to contradict myself, but I know I said Africa needs to get one president. But this is where having the 54 countries in Africa is good, because every country could get 70 million from France, from Germany, from Australia to invest in your healthcare. You guys need to think like Traoré. So that's amazing. And the fact that Trump is doing a deal with him shows that we respect his leadership. And it shows that America doesn't want to get iced out. We see that you have Russia protecting you from these assassination attempts. You sending kids over to China and Russia to learn. This is what Traoré's doing. So America's don't leave us out. Trump does not want to get iced out. Don't you see Trump is doing deals went over to Qatar. Like, he's making good with people all over to show that, like, we're different from France. I won't even say France hasn't adapted the US mindset. Like, Trump is Trump. Like, you guys keep saying the West, but Trump is trying to do something different.
For the people, right?
For
I
the
disagree.
You're
people.
delusional,
It's for the
man.
money. Yeah, it's for the money
You're
interests.
delusional.
Yeah,
It's
that
quid
part you
pro
lost me,
quo,
sister.
man. Y'all got to stop with this nonsense. Y'all are too old to be still holding these bastions and these
You're too negative. You
ideologues.
always have a negative response to
No, it's
something I
not
have
negative.
to
You're
say.
delusional. That's not how the world operates. The world does not
So,
operate like that. It's quid pro quo. You do something for
however
me
it's
for
been
my interest, and I
operating,
do something for
Africa
you for
has
your
been in the
interest.
same stance forever. However it's been operating wasn't making Africa successful. So you need
Yes,
to get out of that old
because
school
the leaders are
mindset.
not—they're not negotiating well. This is a good. Traoré is negotiating well so far, so that's a
So
good
did
thing.
you hear
But for
my
you to come up
point?
here and keep
Did you hear
propagating
my
this stuff like
point
the
that
U.S. is some benevolent entity, it's not. They're going for their interest, man. Grow
Traoré is
up.
getting $66 million
No,
to one Burkina
147.
Faso.
147 million.
So that's even more. So Ghana could get that. Sierra
Well,
Leone could get
it's
that.
not just they're gonna
The
get it.
Ivory Coast could get that.
No, my
Mali could get that. All 54 could get that same
no,
amount if
sister,
they did
no,
a
sister.
deal with one of the
It's
West
not
or
a
one of the
deal.
countries.
It's not just a deal. You have to understand what it is. And we're saying what it is. It's usually somebody's coming to bring something, they want something for it. So in this case, what do they want for it? Well, they want the mines in Zimbabwe, and along with this health initiative, they want to control, or not control, but they want to have the mines in Zimbabwe and Zambia, right?
Africa is the future.
Now,
The youth of Africa is the future. They want to be a
yeah,
part of the future.
they want to be part of their pockets because Trump represents the money people, not the people of America. He's doing what he's doing for the interests, the money interests that run the United States. And you say he looks out for the people. That's wrong.
Brother, she's delusional. It's nothing you can say to convince her, brother.
All right, let me pass the mic to Kid Ola and Taraka. Go ahead, Kid Ola.
Thank you, Dennis. I'll be listening. I think Africans are just too weak. What is 140 something million? As a chicken to some of these African leaders, that's what they swallow got back in England. Some of them even hide it in the United States. You see, way back, Ebola came to West Africa the first time. How did Ebola came to West Africa? They threw Ebola to West Africa to test how West Africa will react to it, and how many people will it eliminate in West Africa. But God so do it, West Africa were able to survive it, maybe due to our immune system and fight hard. They're going to test a lot of shit on us. He is jumping around like a house boy, like a water boy every time. They bring in GMO. Look at these people that are even doing these things. Forget people that wear suits that look clean, you respect them or something. These are not really integrity people. And very soon, if Zimbabwe can reject those things, you think this person love you? Africans? Why don't you check what they did to their own people, to their own citizens, where they're coming from? Why the surrounding around them are not progressive? Salvador is not progressive. Guatemala is not really progressive. These are poor countries. There's nobody coming to make you rich. You know, surprise Brazil talking about this, that, this, that, this. Why United States not going to India to experiment these things? Why Africa? They all be looking way to inject us with things to test our immune system or our DNAs in every type of disease. You know, so we just too weak. I hope this guy know what he's doing. You see, this special name you could call these guys like if they're heroes. There's no African leader that is a hero. They are as corrupt as hell. You know, these guys are just in their own pocket, looking for their own interests. Let's see. But slowly, there's no white person that love black people. Never, and we have never really happened, and will never happen. So we should not just have this delusion. Oh, they're coming to be the ally, be their this, be their this. Not even to Russia, not even to Chinese. Look at what Chinese are doing in Ghana, polluting their drinking water. You know, in Africa they also did the same thing before. These people that just left, the so-called masters, we call it masters that just left. You know, they want to deal with you in a way. SARS came, that whatever came, that was something that they call with that vaccine. Africa, they wanted to try that in Africa before. Even the same shit they brought to Africa for prevention, even started killing people. But lucky for us as Africans, we could, with the weather and everything, with the maybe by grace of God, with our immune system, that shit would have eliminated what were falling people in Europe and America. That disease, that virus that nobody know where it came from. You know, so we Africans are just too weak. We can't really stand on our own. If you don't have anything disturbing you, look, Zaire, Congo was Mobutu, that idiot man that left. Mobutu was very close to them. They brought Muhammad Ali fight, George Foreman fight to that place. What happened? We start seeing Ebola popping out in Congo. Things that never existed before there. You know, from there they check Congo. How will this people react on it? West Africans. They brought to West Africans. Then now the Russian man is coming out to start spreading some shit. They also, Africans don't have AIDS. Africans don't have AIDS. They came with AIDS. Not Africans have AIDS. 1994, I check over Nigeria hospitals, teachers, there's nothing like AIDS. The same way this white man, this Russian man came and be spreading it. That's where Westerners come with this disease and start spreading it to our people. We want, oh no, human right. Don't put them on the container to start screening them. Oh, don't do that because of human right. Because they know we don't have the medicine. So I think we should be very careful. There's nobody your friend in Africa. Nobody. Money talks and they will poison you.
All right,
can I get 30 seconds, please?
Well, let me pass it to Harker. Then you got 30 seconds after him. Go ahead, Harker.
Yeah, I could give him the 30 seconds and I'll come after.
Go ahead, Elvis.
Thank you, Tarka. Look, I just want Africans not to forget so easily. You know, when we had a polio epidemic in Africa, where our young people were getting polio and getting crippled, the United States government came and helped us and gave us the polio vaccine. You've never seen an African country develop their own vaccine to deal with any outbreaks. It's always the Western country that's coming there and helping us with vaccines. When the Africans was eating bushmeat and got Ebola and got an outbreak, it was the President Obama who sent almost $40 million to a country like Liberia and sent medical doctors there who risked their lives to help save lives and bring that outbreak under control. You know, when you're talking about the HIV crisis in South Africa, for example, USAID had a whole hospital where they were giving young women, AIDS, not AIDS, but HIV tablets to keep them alive. That cost $700 a pop. They were giving that to them for free. They were saving their lives. So let's not always criticize the United States. They've done a lot of good on the continent when it comes to healthcare. Thank you,
That's the Hegelian dialectic, brother.
Go ahead, Tarka.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Well, everybody have their opinion.
Opinions.
I'm just gonna give my little mine. The health deals that Burkina Faso just made. Burkina Faso had health deals with America before, They always had health deals with America. But Ibrahim Traoré stopped it to reevaluate it and be better prepared to accept it. Right now, as I hear someone talk about data sharing and data center, they actually have their own data facilities that is going to stay in there. Right, that's the agreement they made. Zimbabwe, Zambia rejected it because of the data they would have to share, right, and let U.S. control. And they said no. Ibrahim Traoré and his government, they agreed, right? And that's why they finally accepted it, right? That they're going to keep their data and they're going to monitor the situation. And also the person that talk about they came to give the disease or
health. Yeah, we know that, and they are capable of that because they do it on their own people here in America. They've done it in the past, and they did it to black people, and guess what? They did it to white people too. In the past, they did experiment on them. You see what I'm saying? They don't care, right? So that's why you have to have your own doctors, your own scientists, which I'm sure Abraham Traoré's government does, to check. To check this, check. What are you giving my people? Well, I'm gonna check and I'm gonna see. Right? You see what I'm saying?
I don't mean to cut you off, but you're on the right path. I would like for everybody to check into the news about in August of 2025, the government suspended a Gate Foundation funded research project on malaria. Traoré, when he found that out, he stopped it. The project was well advanced, but he didn't have enough information, so he stopped the program totally and
Right.
and refund the money. You can check the information online. You
Yeah,
understand?
I know.
Thank you.
But let me finish up, and I'll just have a couple more seconds, right? And I said this before. Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, they never said they didn't want to work with country A or country B. They said they want to work with country A, B, C, and D, E, F, G, whatever, on a fair basis. A fair basis. They didn't say they didn't want to do doing the business with the United States. Right? And as far as building a base, Brandon, that ain't gonna happen. France and the US have bases in the AES before. What happened? The terrorists still overran the goddamn place. You understand? They will work with the goddamn terrorists. And they have 100 million base in Niger. Right? If the United States want to, they could have put a stop to any terrorist coming to Burkina Faso. You see what I'm saying? And they did not. Why? Because they're working with them. They know that.
Yeah.
They know that.
Yes.
Russia knows that the U.S. tried to kill them. They know they're supplying arms and training, and they have the CIA inside. They have special forces inside of Ukraine. But what didn't Putin and Russia sat in a car laughing and talking together? Didn't they do that? Stark enemies? Didn't they do that? Don't China have conversation with Russia, with America every day? Don't we borrow money from China every goddamn month? Isn't China our biggest trading partner? And their enemies, US is threatening to attack them and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? And the last thing I'm going to say, this is the last thing I'm going to say. If Trump and his cronies, who Trump, who I voted for, right? Because the very thing he said he wasn't going to do, right, is create more wars and pull our troops out of these war zones. And he made the Epstein clan with Netanyahu, who's part of the Epstein clan, cloud his mind and fucked them up. You see what I'm saying? And now look at the trouble we're getting in now. Right? Look at what we're in now. People talking about, I hear Iran is weak, they this and that, and all kind of shit. What? They are fucking them up. You see what I'm saying?
Good.
And Brandon,
Israel first, man.
And Brandon, you talking about they're attacking their neighbors? They're attacking their neighbors because of the bases in there. You see what I'm saying? They bombed the hotel. Right? Because the U.S. they cowered ass self. They ran from the base in Bahrain, and they up in these damn hotels and also in Dubai. You see what I'm saying? That's why they were bombed. You see? So
Yo, you want Americans to get killed by Iranians? Is that what you're saying?
Man, shut the fuck up, bro. Let me finish talk, bro.
That's what you're saying. Okay.
My American brother is over there.
No, he's saying that Iran is responding. Iran is responding.
I'm telling you what's going on because they didn't start it. You see what I'm saying? They did not start it, right? They're attacking these other countries because of the bases that they have in these countries. You see what I'm saying? That's the reason why they're going after them, and it will not end. It will not. They're gonna have to nuke Iran to end this shit because they will not end. They had a deal. Iran was ready to give in with a deal to Trump on a platter. You see what I'm saying? They had the deal Trump wanted. They was going to get rid of their nuclear enrichment, and they was going to buy enrichment from the United States. You see what I'm saying? That was the deal. They had it. And Israel went in there and jumped the gun before the US, and US just had to follow up. You see what I'm saying? This is what happened. And like I said, we're going to see what's going to determine in Africa is what's going to happen in the Middle East right now. You see what I'm saying? Because it will not stop.
All right, let me pass the mic. Paul Smith, go ahead, Paul.
Right. I was just going to say, no African country should be getting in bed with the West. That's just my personal view. It's just it's just an attempt to recolonize Africa, if they're not already colonizing it. We need to get rid of imperialism and colonization and unite Africa as much as we can do, as one bloc. Cooperate on economic, have a zone of cooperation rather than competition. Basically, that's my vision for Africa. Would be to have 54 countries as an economic bloc, which would be twice the size of the EU. It can work. Get rid of the African Union. They have been toothless when it comes to dealing with terrorism and also dealing with the West as well. Most of the African leaders are Western puppets anyway, in my personal view. So that's just my opinion.
That's true, brother. But
wait, can I jump in?
Pragmatically, that's not realistic right now.
You are always thinking like that. Oh my God.
No, I'm not, bro. No, I'm realistic. You're within the time frame that this MOU is going to be operating. The whole Africa is not going to come together within 5 years and create a unified bloc economically.
Make it 10. Make it start doing it now.
No, I agree that theoretically that makes sense. But you have to understand how the people are on the ground and how the leaders are. It's not realistic right now. Like a whole lot of changes, a whole lot of drastic changes have to be implemented before that occurs. And people you have to be realistic.
Okay, you guys are getting to the point because I think it's more so the corruption, because it's to the point where you guys don't even want help, because once the help come, y'all can't deal with it properly. Because
the corruption is incentivized.
Wait, but if you have a smart leader that's not corrupted, then if you get 146 million, it could be used properly. Don't turn around, don't turn away help, because fix the corrupted leaders. That's just what I'm hearing, because
the
why would you say
is incentivized?
That's like the Ku Klux Klan coming to help you. The
Ku Klux Klan coming. But let me say,
$146 million is no money.
Can I bring this information into
I think it's your turn on that.
This is important. Listen to this, y'all. It's there was a documentary in 2004. I saw this documentary in 2004, shortly after it came out on the Sundance Channel, and it was called "The Origins of AIDS." And basically, it talks about this Belgium laboratory that was set up in the middle of the Congo forest in the 1950s.
Medicine Sans Frontier.
And they were supposed to be doing oral polio vaccines in the Congo, and I think in Rwanda as well. And they did. They administered these oral polio vaccines, and basically, I'm going to read it. Says the documentary explores the hypothesis that the HIV virus was inadvertently passed on to humans in the late 1950s via contaminated oral polio vaccine. The film investigates vaccines trials conducted in the Belgium Congo, where researchers allegedly used chimpanzee kidney tissue to cultivate the vaccine. Now, so one of the earliest outbreaks of AIDS was, they were saying it was Haiti, and then they said it was the Congo. It was all kind of, conjecture about it, but the Congo was supposedly one of the earlier places where they say that the vaccine could have started. That's one thing. Now, here's the other thing that is crucial to understand, that the Niger-Congo groups and all of the groups, the Bantu groups, all of the groups sub-Saharan, have the most diverse DNA of all humans. So the data, the most important data is amongst the DNA of our people. We have the most diverse DNA of all humans. So within in a population of Niger Congo people, you have more diversity in the gene pool than you do in all of the rest of the world together.
But
and that's what they want.
All right, let me pass the mic. Man in the High Castle, go ahead. Man in the High Castle, unmute yourself.
Yes. How's it going, everybody?
Good, go ahead.
Proud Americans. It is the Man in the High Castle. It's unfortunate.
Lord. Okay.
It's unfortunate what's going on, but I do know that President of Burkina Faso made the right decision. And, you know, he doesn't have to talk about Black Winter as much because now he got his Christmas presents early.
What?
Right now,
$147 million.
Yeah. Don't interrupt him. Don't interrupt him. Don't interrupt him. Go ahead, man.
He stopped talking.
Yeah.
Though.
No, go. Yeah, you did stop talking, but Man High Castle, go ahead.
Hopefully, there will be more, so it can feed and provide for the more infrastructure of Burkina Faso and the citizens. I think Mr. Traoré has bright ideas. And in these days and times in the 21st century, like other centuries past, money finances these dreams. And this was a bright move on his behalf. For those Pan-Africans who don't think that it was, sorry, economics is power. And to elevate one's economic status in this world, like Burkina Faso is trying to do with self-determination. Money is green. That is the race of money.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And to competitive.
Delusional.
No. See, this Pan-African socialism that y'all practicing is not what is needed for the continent. The continent needs to be practicing African nationalism.
That's not an economic
Who
system.
said anything about socialism? What are you talking about?
Go, man. Let go there. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Y'all just listen. Can you guys listen to him?
Idiot.
No, let him finish. Go ahead. Everybody's welcome on this panel. Go ahead.
There's African. Okay. Patrice Lumumba. Ibrahim Traoré is not going to end up like Patrice Lumumba, as we're seeing right now. Patrice Lumumba was flirting with African socialist ideas. Ibrahim Traoré appears more nationalism. African nationalism is more of a priority and more proactive than African socialism. Pan-Africanism, as we're speaking right now, is socialist.
According to who?
That's how it's always been.
And what he's saying is so smart because Black nationalism, we could stand behind that. Exactly. Just being Black.
Most Pan-Africanists are Black nationalists. That's why he doesn't know what he's talking about.
No,
I don't know where
y'all,
you getting this socialism
practicing. Y'all see.
If I can interject real quick, hold on. If I can interject real quick, well, he has a point. The new age Pan-Africans they are communist, socialists, Marxists.
That's the old school, brother.
Yeah. The new ones are too. That's
the old one that was with all the Marxism. Real Pan-Africanism is not with no Marxism or none of them cracker ideologies at all.
We're more socialists and communalists.
I'm afraid Dennis is right. That a lot of socialism in the Pan-Africanism that's right in the world.
But that's not Marxism necessarily. That's not Marxism. That's old school.
The United States is a socialist entity.
Okay. Let's
one more time. The All African People's Revolutionary Party with materialism and dialecticalism and Marx. They were Marxists. They were studying Marx and Lenin. They were studying those things, right?
Yeah, they were all. Go ahead.
That was 40 years
Yeah, in the
ago, 50
past,
years
yeah.
ago.
15 seconds.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Today-
Ain't nobody
today-
right Africa that's talking about no Marxism no more.
Right. Today,
And if you are, then I'm looking at you sideways.
But they are still pushing socialism and communism. I can tell you that right now.
No, socialism is different than communism, though. And socialism is closer to communal. We're communal people, and communalism is a socialist kind of endeavor. Our cultural practices, and John Henry Clark talked about that. He was a communist at one point, John Henry Clark, and he says we don't need no white folks telling us about any ideology that we have been practicing already in our culture.
But Black nationalism is like the most communal thing ever. Black nationalism is all Black people
Socialism is the
together.
most African thing because we practice it on a daily basis in our villages.
Real quick.
So Africans tend to naturally gravitate towards it.
Go ahead and finish.
15 seconds, sir, because you all are bright. All right. Susuism, Susu, is the most nationalistic of the economic systems to come out of Africa and or to be practiced in Africa to this very day. To do banking locally. See, that is nationalism. This is what African nationalism on the continent should look like. Universal Susuism. And this Black nationalism in the United States also was practicing a Susu type of economics prior to integration. This is what people who are African socialists don't get. We are nationalists by heart. Having nationalism for Africa, the national fervor for your African, for it to work on the continent, would be right and exact.
Okay, let's pass the mic.
That was powerful.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Susu comes from our people.
Socialism is not nationalism.
But
it's people pulling together the resources so that each person benefits. It's not nationalism.
I mean, whatever kind of
nationalism is nationalism.
Sorry, guys. What kind of ism our previous Pan-African leaders were practicing in Africa? It clearly did not work. Okay, Sekou Touré, rest in peace, in Guinea, he followed that similar system. And look at how Guinea looked like until recently. You know, they having transformation. When General Lassana Conte came in, he capitalized the country a little bit. Now, if you look at Ivory Coast and Senegal, you compare to Guinea, you can see the difference. You know, this experiment did not work well for the local people in Africa, because African people were. Can you compare?
Can you say that again? Say that again for those that didn't hear. Say it again.
No, we heard it.
Thank you.
We're questioning it though.
Right. Sure. If you just listen, do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm giving you a good example of what happened in West Africa. Okay, the Republic of Guinea. Okay, after independence, they got rid of the French. They aligned themselves with the communist regime, Russia. Okay, and what they did is they was isolated from the rest of the world. Then Senegal and Ivory Coast refused to do that.
Why don't you tell when Sekou Touré told what it was to the French? What did the French did to Guinea? The people would like to know what the French did to the people.
Absolutely.
You're leaving that part out to point out to his failure, but you are not telling the people exactly why he fell.
Okay, let him tell it. Go ahead.
The French, what they did is they destroyed everything that they brought in Guinea. They destroyed the sewage system. They poured concrete in the sewage system, and they also even the light bulbs that they installed in Guinea they destroyed. Okay, that's what they did. But that did not stop Guinea of allying with another country like the UK or
You
another
missed the currency though.
capitalist
You
country.
talk about the currency as well.
I'm trying to hear it, man.
Please.
Okay. And Guinea is the only country out of the entire Francophone West Africa that had their own currency. Okay. And I can guarantee you, if it wasn't for a country like Sierra Leone and Liberia next door, Guinea would actually suffer the most. But the reason why Guinea managed to survive a little bit with that currency, okay, I can tell you, is because they had Sierra Leone and Liberia that was trading with them and helping them out. Okay. And Guinea had to form an alliance with Ghana to actually survive. Which
And that has to
obviously
do
we
with the
got.
system of socialism. Really? That has to do with
Communism. Listen, you can argue me as much as you like.
Terms, though, brother. Y'all keep doing this.
Communist secretary was a communist. Okay, Guinea was poor. It was so poor. People were running out of Guinea. All their talents ran away. Okay, you cannot compare Guinea and Senegal and Ivory Coast that's next door, and even Sierra Leone and Liberia at that time. You cannot compare it. I agree that we need system like what I said earlier. We need to be non-alliance in Africa. We cannot be slaves to. We cannot be claiming to be independent, and then we want to be boxed in with one allies only. How can you be that independent? What kind of human beings are you guys? How can you want to be independent? Then you're just actually associating yourself. You've been boxed in to just work
We're
with
only
one
doing
partner.
14% trade within the continent of Africa.
What is independence about that? What is independence about
We're only
you?
doing 14% trade within the continent of Africa. If we were doing 60 like Europe, we would not need as much
I
exporting.
agree. I agree
We're not
with
even
that.
doing that though.
I agree. No,
That's
that's sure.
incentivized, though, brother.
No, if we bring in that point, that's a different argument, okay? But what I'm trying to say is the argument here is, right? What is independent about a nation that have no choice but to box in with one country like Russia? Why Burkina Faso have to just box
Who
in
says
with Russia?
doing that? It sounds like you're having a bad faith argument, right? So by listening to you, right, you are giving the people the impression that Sekou Touré wake up one morning.
Guys, I gotta pass the mic. Rainy Fox Media, mute yourself.
Thanks. I want to be brief and calm about this because I be saying stuff and they be trying to. I have to be careful.
Baddie alert.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I like the AES a lot. And I highly respect all three, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. And I've even covered Niger in particular. I think it's a Trojan horse, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, in the big, beautiful bill, they cut healthcare here in the United States, and a lot of Americans are concerned and complaining. So it's up to the states the way it works, that the federal government sends the funds to the states, and then the states decide what they're going to cut. So we're in the midst of that. That's number one. Number two, I heard someone say something about Zambia because I had listened or read something about it myself. And I'd like to hear that again, but nonetheless, maybe I'll go look at it. And then someone said Zimbabwe, and Zambia now is saying they didn't turn it down. Then there were Black Americans talking about the Tuskegee experience in reference to offering any African countries healthcare, data exchange, et cetera. And I'm not saying the MOU is that for Burkina Faso. And this panel has also informed me that Burkina Faso once had the deal and Ibrahim Traoré needed to tweak it. That's all good. Number one, the federal government does business with no one without terms and conditions. I think it's a Trojan horse because they can't get in to access to the AES. I would like to believe as a proud American that America would do the right thing. I mean that. I really, really would like America to do the right thing. And that's why I'm so vocal when they're not. It's a Trojan horse to me because they cannot gain access to the AES, as simple as that. And I believe that the AES needs to do business with all countries, period. And they have to level up.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And yeah, let me finish. And they have to level up their game in trade and getting fair market price, period. Niger did it with their uranium. But at the same time, given where the African countries are at in terms of not having something nuclear or something close to that, you're going to have safeguards in place. And one of the gentlemen on the panel, I don't know who it was, immediately I said, that's exactly what they should do. They should be checking every item and testing it to make sure every batch of everything that is given should be checked. I don't believe that Ibrahim decided to do it because they threatened him at all. No, I don't. Because I think he made a decision at least 2 years ago to stand on business, and that's what he's been doing. But the United States does not forget France, Britain, Germany are their brothers. And I think that Rubio did an excellent job. And this is one of the reasons why I like Trump. I didn't vote for Trump because I'm an independent, but I like him. And I like him for one reason. You know where he stands. He don't shuck and jive. Because if we had had a different administration in office, they'd be standing over you with Gates in the background talking about, oh, let's share help them. No. So while I understand my African brothers and sisters want to be hopeful, I do strongly believe it's a Trojan horse because they cannot gain the type of access that they access to any of the three countries, the AES and the Sahel. They just can't gain it the way that they want to. And we all just saw what happened to Ayatollah last night. I happened to be up late, and the summary that AI put together, they mentioned something about a meeting. So then I asked AI Gork, do you mean the meeting with the US? And Gork said, no, they had a separate meeting. Then I say to Gork, then does that mean that someone from the inside may have told where the Ayatollah was meeting? And Gork said, possibly. I say that to say this, they don't forget. They don't forgive, period. In Christianity, they teach us Black folks around the world to forgive. They don't. And even though they held off on France, who's a former colony, Burkina Faso, Mali, or former Niger, former colonies, that's their brother. Rubio did an excellent job. He's the only diplomat, in my opinion, in the Trump administration. Okay, we got
you like the Ku Klux Klan?
Huh?
You like the Ku Klux Klan?
No, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say.
They let you know where they stand too.
No. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. America has a huge issue of calling other people out as being what they are actually doing. They project. The Trump administration is not projecting and they're not pretending. I respect that, period. No, because if you have, when you know where someone stands, then it's up to you in terms of what you choose to do with that information. If it had been any other administration under Republican Party or the Democratic Party, they would have been shucking and jiving and saying, oh, we're going to go help you. We know when Boko Haram started. We know that the Obama administration.
I guess it's just because you said that you like Trump.
I'm trying to hear. I'm trying to hear. Go ahead.
No, we know when Boko Haram started. We know in the Obama administration, Michelle, who I love and respect dearly. I mean, not personally love her, but respect her. Said, what was the slogan? Save our girls. Really? At that same time, in DC, a lot of Black girls were coming up missing. Okay? So no, I think it's a Trojan horse. However, given the safeguards, if he can leverage it and manage it, it's going to be good. But there's no such thing as doing business with the federal government. Lockheed Martin, the Beltway Bandits, Boeing, the big dogs, they don't do business with them without terms and conditions. There is no aid. They don't give aid. And I do like that the Trump administration, this is on another, whenever do you have this conversation, I like the fact that they put them in the State Department, USAID, that's where they belong. So there's no pretending here. This aid is really about diplomatic affairs and business with other countries. So obviously they're taking that pot out of the USAID, at least that's what they're going to tell the American citizens as they cut our health care in that big, beautiful bill. But I think it's definitely a Trojan horse. I also believe strongly, like one of the panelists mentioned, that they're going to need to test out all equipment in every batch of everything, and they're going to have to set up a system in order to do so. That's real. It's not make-believe. And the United States does not do MOUs without conditions, period. And they'll hold you to it. The other thing is France is their brother. Britain is their brother, as Rubio said. Germany is their brother. So they do not forgive. And, I'll land my whatever plane on that. But I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Let me ask Al a question.
Yeah,
Let me ask Al a question.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Al, why do you keep saying Burkina Faso is working with Russia only?
No, okay, right. You see, brother,
Be specific. Be more specific, because you brought that argument.
Okay. Calm down. Okay.
No,
We're
good.
Okay, hold on. Since I've been on this platform for the last how many years? Okay, Dynasty here is a witness. I always said I want Burkina Faso to do well. Okay, but I don't agree with a nation who is seeking to have an independence from another nation to be boxed in with another nation. We can go back and come back to me again if I'm lying. This is my point. But because people get wrapped up so much with their emotions, they do not listen to what I'm saying. They want to listen to what they believe.
I don't have any emotions.
Brother, what they asking you, where are you getting the notion that is the AES governmental stance as they want to work with box themselves in? That's never been the case.
I am okay. Oh God. Listen, let me answer the question. You're not the one that asked the question, okay? The reason why I'm saying it is because of the opinion that people are trying to put. It's basically the how people are trying to wrap this conversation throughout the years that Burkina Faso is better off without working with the West, okay? They're better off without working with the East.
But if it isn't coming from the government, why are you ascribing that to the government, though? It makes no sense.
You are imputing that to the government of Burkina Faso and AES.
Why are you interrupt? If you want to hear the answer, you just don't want to interject. Why are you actually interrupting me when I'm actually speaking?
Okay, you can go ahead.
What's the point of this conversation?
And you stop
what I'm trying to say is, no, God. See, again, you're just proving my point. You're just being emotional. You don't even have the patience to wait to let me finish before you interrupt.
You must have a delay, brother.
Your explanation is wrong, though, but go ahead.
Okay. All I'm trying to say is do not put all your eggs in one basket, okay? That's my point. Do not put all your eggs in one basket.
Okay, let me ask. Can I ask Al a question?
No, you can't. I'm waiting for Africa. You guys keep interrupting me, guys.
Yeah, Dinus, exactly. Thank you, Dinus. They're not letting me answer the question, interrupting. All right, yeah, go on. Quick one.
We can ask a question?
Answer the question, Africa.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, I said the reason why I'm saying that.
Like 1 second, Tark, you got background noise, Tark. I don't know if you got a TV on or a fan, or I'm just gonna mute you.
But no, I got it.
Okay, go ahead, Africa.
So, yeah, basically, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's the reason why I'm saying it. Okay, if you have anyone that have common sense, understand what I'm trying to say. And this is exactly what happened to Guinea in the past. They did that, and the economy failed. And the country is still underdeveloped, and where most of their citizens and their raw talent have to run away from the country to the neighboring countries. Okay, so if I said that, if that doesn't make sense to anybody, okay, then I don't know what else would make sense. I want the best for AES. Before I was very skeptical, but as time goes on, I changed my mind and I advocate more for non-alliance. Okay, that's my stance. This is where AES is coming now. Thank God, you guys are here. Everything is happening as I actually predicted, and I was advocating for, okay, and it's coming to fruition. And
I hope you understand. I'm not just sitting here talking affirmations. I'm actually looking at strategies. I'm looking at historical events and also, things that's happening. And I said when I saw Assimi Goïta in Mali, I said there's something going in West Africa that's going to come up very soon when doing General Dumbuya inauguration. I said something is cooking. You guys, Diners probably can remember when I said that. I said something is cooking. I got people listen. I got people in the military that is in Sahel. I got people in the army in Guinea, and I know very well about the local geopolitics. I'm not just coming here and talking about what I read online,
You have a
and
hard head, bro. You don't
following what
listen.
people say on
You
YouTube.
still didn't answer that question, brother.
You don't listen. You don't listen, Al. You have a hard head.
No name
Okay,
calling,
good.
but can I please jump in?
Well,
I
let me
was
pass.
trying to ask a question too. I was trying to.
No. We got somebody new on the panel. Go ahead, Bang. Unmute yourself, Bang.
Okay. How's everybody? This right here, Ibrahim Traoré, struck a deal with the with Donald Trump or the United States government about that medical thing. Because I just jumped in. I wasn't, listening before. But what I've gotten from other people that told me, right? Because every country work with each other. Currently, as we speak, right, the United States is still working with, with the Russia, even though they despise each other. They, what I'm saying, they use Ukraine as a, whatever it is, right? So you got other countries too still work with each other, even if they're fighting each other. That's just how the world operates. Because certain countries have certain things that you desperately need, But it looks like the deal was, I might be wrong or I might be in between. It looks like the deal was a medical deal, right? It was like, I think $140 million, right? A Burkina Faso government put had the 100 million, and then I think the United States was the one with the 40 million. The deal was
No,
a medical deal.
United States. United States putting 147, and Burkina Faso.
No.
Burkina's putting in 12.
Sean, hold on. What I'm trying to say is I got it from people that I believe. I might be wrong or I might be in between.
Bro, I'm telling you what the money is.
Okay, but
It's
no, hold
147
on.
million from the U.S.
Okay, Sean. Okay, Sean.
God, let someone speak.
Yes, exactly. You the
No,
same one.
I just was giving you the figures, bro. I'm not trying to take your glory. I just was giving you the
You the same one the other
147 and the
day.
12 million. That's it. That's all.
My God. Okay. Let me finish my thoughts, please. I beg you. Then after that, I'm gonna be quiet, and then y'all can
My
continue.
portfolio blowing the fuck up right now.
So it looks like the Burkina Faso government, what they did was the deal that they have put together with the United States government. It was a medical device, like medical equipments. That's what the deal is. But in the media, like so-called some of these Western medias, so-called some of these Africans as well, because we got some Africans for some reason, whatever it is, that's just how life operates, right? Because America has been going around and the entire EU striking medical deals where countries in Africa automatically give their data, everything, to the United States corporations. So Burkina Faso, that wasn't the deal at all. It's not even the same. Not the deal that you see in Nigeria or in what do you call it, Kenya. It's not at all. The Burkina Faso deal is a medical equipment. So the people that come up here, I'm not sure.
Oh, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You ain't even done your homework. You haven't done your homework, sir.
Son, you don't know more
I'm not being
about me
funny,
when it comes
but
to these things.
Shah, you're annoying,
You
bro.
don't
You
know
keep
more about when
interrupting
it comes
people.
to
I'm sorry. I apologize. I just
or
had
is it
to
medical
interject at that
cooperation?
point. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Medical
My
equipment.
bad.
Is right though, bro.
It's a medical equipment.
St. James, is it medical equipment or is it medical collaboration?
It's all sort of things. I haven't even looked through it, but because they did not even get to the implementation phase of it, so I'm waiting for that part. And so, okay, go ahead, please.
I'm telling you the truth. I know people that went to that country and traveled and meet up some people. It's a medical equipment deal. It's not like the deal that they had in Nigeria. Nigeria gave up everything medical-wise to the United States corporation. Just
What
like
about the
Kenya.
exchange of information? You're not mentioning that.
Man,
You're saying
these people just reading on YouTube, bro. They have no connection to the ground,
are
so
you
just
talking
leave it.
about? Medical what? Medical like Sean. If
He's
I go
right.
to your
It
house, right?
includes medical equipment.
Hold on. If I go over your house, right, and I threw some papers, some photos, right, and I send your medical bills, right, I mean, your medical history, right? If I post it on social media or whatever it is, right? You can sue you can sue me, right?
But that's not why they want the information for medical. They want the information so that they can develop.
No, it is not the same deal with Nigeria or Kenya. It is not at all.
It's not even Nigeria. It's Zimbabwe and Zambia. What the hell are you talking about? See, you don't know shit.
No, Nigeria gave it up. Tinubu gave it up.
Okay, that's true. But the last two places was Zambia. The countries that rejected it were Zambia and Zimbabwe.
The Congo,
my brother.
No,
without seeing the proper document, I can guarantee you, if there is anything in that document that include us giving our medical record to the United States, is dead on arrival. I can guarantee you that.
Exactly. What the media is trying to do is this, right? And some Africans, right? They try to make it as if like it is equalized with the same deal with corrupt Nigerian government. It's not at all. It's not at all.
Nobody even mentioned Nigeria. You just hate Nigerians, man. Nobody mentioned Nigeria.
We've been talking about Zambia and Zimbabwe that rejected it.
I'm just saying, for a country, right? Why would you give complete control to a foreign entity when it comes to medical? Complete control. That makes no sense at all. But we know how African leaders, how they behave. You know, Elvis, man, you act like you don't know that, man. Come on now. African leaders.
Could you give an example of how African leaders behave?
You need to do your homework, man.
Give an example.
Stop it. I've been, Sean. I've been on AES for the past 3 years. You come up here and telling me that I need to do my homework.
On this issue. All you have to do is put it in the AI.
I'm giving you the truth.
It's saying
look at each other.
No, but they didn't give up They didn't give up everything.
That's not the same thing.
It's about.
Brother Sean, he said he got primary sources though. He said he got primary sources on the ground. So
even with that being said, though,
if St. James, who is from the country, doesn't know about this, I doubt Ahmed knows more about it than St. James.
I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt because he said he got primary sources.
Okay, well then he needs to speak on the primary sources.
Sean, they're not going to give up their thing.
When you go to the hospital, right? How many medical devices you see? There's plenty of them. You turn left, you turn right. These are devices that Burkina Faso do not produce. So you have to get it from somewhere.
But that's not sensitive. That's not controversial or sensitive. Getting medical equipment is equipment.
Honestly,
I think you're very controversial stuff is the information.
I think you're very mature and emotional. I think you're very mature and emotional. You could actually
why you keep him up there? He's pushing back,
information, man. Stop.
Yeah, but you could do that when he finished speaking, right? Not when he's speaking, it's saying the same thing, but it doesn't make no sense. Yeah, thank you.
I agree. We need to be had the quorum. Me too as well.
Yeah, can I say something, please?
Yeah, thank you.
You guys keep doing this name calling thing. Like, everyone doesn't have to agree. Like, that's the thing about debating, having different opinions. Like, being condescending and calling someone names doesn't make your point better. Okay, to the guy that keeps doing that. But let me make my point. I just feel like, and I want to be so sensitive to this because I guess like this is me being Black American. I'm Jamaican. I said this the first night, but I guess like I live in America and I've been here for a while. So I don't really understand this piece of Africa, but I keep hearing it in the older African men. Like there's something about colonization and the West, and when the West helps, it's not a good help. When the West helps, disease come. When the West helps, politicians are corrupt, so there's corruption when you think of the West helping, and we see that, right? Like there's some of Africa that's so beautiful, it's the motherland, but I guess we also see this like all the best resources come from Africa, but we don't see like the people thriving, everyone the way they should, right? So we see that the West is taking away instead of pouring in. So I'm seeing that hurt, right? And then that's making you say, don't do this deal with Trump. Don't go into another deal because look how France hurt you. Look how, and I get that. And that's so smart to feel that way. But what I feel is like a revolution happening in Africa. And I feel like Ibrahim Traoré is like, I think he's like my age. He's young. He's smart. He's not corrupt. So I feel like you guys have to have faith in him. I feel like you guys don't think he's smart enough to say, like, we are going to test all these things. Like, he's sending kids to Russia and China to learn to be doctors. I bet you they're going to be testing those things coming in. And I feel like he's not going to let his citizens' blood just leave. They're probably on a hunt for who's the true Hebrew Israelites, who's the real Jewish people. They probably do want the blood, but he probably won't send it. Like, I feel
What
like
are
you
you
guys.
talking about?
Oh Lord.
Well,
I'm
that
trying
one
to
left
say
real
this
quick.
is an
Real quick.
agenda.
Understanding, bro. Y'all
I'm
coming in
trying to
saying
Honestly, I
wild
think
say,
stuff,
guys,
man.
can I
I think
finish?
you're very naive.
Why black
I think
people
you're
I'm
very
trying to
naive.
Bro.
say,
No,
why black people
guys,
mm.
I'm trying to
are so obsessed
say,
with like Hebrew
if
Jews,
there
Hebrew
if
and this
there's an
and like
agenda, if there's an agenda with the data, you guys keep saying the info, wanting something from the African people. Like, maybe they do want something, the medical reports, the blood. That's why I just mentioned
Can
that.
I?
But my
yeah,
point,
but why
my
would
May
you
I
point
say
test
this
it for
after
is,
like
you, please? Mm.
Hebrew or whatever it is? It's a
my,
population because
You see
African population is
this is why
growing. Why would
So
y'all
if,
try testing
if
Okay,
an
for
let her
Africans?
finish.
African goes to the
Let her
hospital
finish.
and
Let
they
her finish.
take their blood, is
Let
America
her finish.
using that
Let her finish.
African blood to do something, diabolical with it?
Nah, but
Sister, have you finished?
it's understanding the leverage of
Have you
data,
landed?
brother. Data is worth billions of dollars. It's just
Okay.
that.
Right.
exactly.
It does. It does. Anyway, the reality is you
And
guys
I'm
don't
just
understand
thinking
the
a little
situation in
deeper.
Africa.
I'm just going a little deeper, but I just want to finish my point. That's just a little spiritual, deeper level of it. If you guys are, that's the important
Nah,
data.
nobody's trying
But
to hear
what
nothing
I'm,
So
about no
who's the
Hebrew.
real Hebrew?
what I'm trying to say about Traore now is you guys
You like
have to have
stupid, man.
faith in him. You guys have to think that he's smart enough. Like, I don't think he's going to do a deal to undermine the people of Burkina Faso. I don't think he's going to do a deal that's going to throw them under the bus or make their future like bad. And this is where you guys have to, people come
So,
on and say,
Let,
African are not so smart. We got to think good of our people.
okay.
African people
Whoever
are
honestly,
said that
honestly
amazing.
though,
speaking,
Let's
nobody
put it.
said
Let's put
that.
in a challenge.
honestly speaking,
Let's put
Burkina
something in here.
Faso, but what happened in Burkina Faso does not affect me in any way whatsoever.
Okay.
As long as the
Okay.
insecurity does not spread
Okay.
on the coastal
Okay.
continent, hold on. Okay, the only thing that will affect me, for example, if Burkina Faso were to allow a lab, okay, built in their country, that's going to be used as a testing ground, because we know for a fact, okay, like the sister, you don't understand West Africa. That's the trouble with some of our people. You don't understand the geopolitics of West Africa and the things that have happened in the region that we personally have experienced. And when we come here and try and explain to you, you guys trying to shut us down is very disrespectful, I think, and it's very not nice. It's like me going to Jamaica, listen to what you guys going through, and I'm saying, oh, that's irrelevant. As long as that president is doing the listen. Ebola came around our region. Elvis is quite dishonest in his analysis. I know you're in a very he likes his Western ideologies and he is quite linked to the West. So do I. Okay, well let's get this fact real. Before the Ebola happened in West Africa, throughout West African history, Ebola people were eating bushmeat. Me, I'm a Muslim. I never eat bushmeat. I know people, my neighbors, who used to fetch monkeys and stuff and eat bushmeat. Okay, and I saw that happen. But these people never had any form of Ebola. Okay, that never happened. But all of a sudden, a lab was built. It's a company from Delaware built a lab around the Manda River Union, exactly where the Ebola spread happened. Okay, and all of a sudden, Ebola outbreak happened within that region. And we did not have any Americans coming to help us in Sierra Leone. Most of the people that came to Sierra Leone were the Cubans. Okay, so this is the reason why I'm not. You cannot box me in one area with the west, east, north, south. I don't give. I don't care. All I know is if Traore is going to pick the right choice, he's going to do the right things for his people, for his population. I 100% with him because if Burkina benefits and that country have peace and the AES, the entire West African region, including the coastal region, will be in peace. Okay, so basically, we seen these things at first hand. And Tahaka also narrated or someone what happened in Congo with the Medicine Sans Frontier when there used to be a lot of testings. Like the testing Africans like animals. Yeah, because we have a different gene pool in the continent. Things like that need to be looked at. We can't just sit there and say, "Oh yeah, because of kumbaya, because of all this Pan Africanism, we should just allow anything to happen as long as it's all good." We need to look into the system that is coming in place, and also what the president or the leaders in Africa have in place to actually counter this
in things that's happening. Because right now, what are the laws that Burkina Faso is putting in place for all the companies or all the foreign countries coming into Burkina Faso, if, for example, who want to invest? Are they making these laws very tough for them when they come in there, so they do not exploit the people or they don't exploit the country? These are the questions that we should be asking. Okay, because it doesn't matter who comes in if Burkina Faso does not strengthen its institutions and also bring laws, that will actually
Okay,
counter
Al, can
these
I let
things
me
that
come
they're
in here,
doing.
please?
I'm always landed. Counter these companies or these greedy multinational corporations if they do not bring the laws to actually, counter that money grabbing machine. Eventually, it's just going to be like what the West did or what the colonialists did in Africa. I
But
pass the
you
mic.
said if you stand on those things, you're
Everyone
gonna
agrees
get
with
Okay,
killed.
that.
Though
let me speak, please, Sinjin.
let me ask. Let me ask Al.
No, look, I asked
Listen
him to
to you
speak
for
after him.
no.
Please, look, give me 30 seconds. Let me just say this.
You
Look,
guys have
Al.
been talking for a minute, right?
No, this is my 30 seconds. I'll say this, right? Burkina Faso knows what they need. And everybody think that Traoré is a smart person. And if they have some lapses in their health infrastructure, he knows that. The people in his country, the health practitioners is probably telling him he could have got that help from Russia, who they seem to trust more so, you know. But he came to the Americans, or the Americans came to him, as some people like to put it, and he accepted, and had a memorandum of understanding with the United States government. So I'm sure it's not going to be anything harmful. This idea that the West, every time they bring aid to Africa, is going to hurt the African, it's not necessarily true. And I come from a country, and you come from a country, most West Africans come from countries, when they were kids, their mothers used to take them to these white operated clinics to get vaccines, to get a shot in their
Right.
arm. So most of us have that mark on our shoulders right now. Did we get HIV? Did we get AIDS? Did we get polio? Did we get some kind of infectious disease? Of course
No.
not. Most of the times we get these medical aids, and nothing happens to us. So if something breaks out in the
Yeah.
continent, you think that the white man went there to sabotage us? Maybe, but
No,
99% of the time, it's nothing like that
that's
happening
not
to us.
entirely what I was saying. That's not entirely what I was
Okay,
saying.
I'll pass the
But
mic back.
it have happened in the past also, man. So bear that in
Okay,
mind.
I gotta,
Can
I
you
gotta,
allow
I
others to
gotta,
speak? I just want to speak.
I gotta read the super chats. Black Patriot 65, thank you for $5 holla. I admire the captain for being smart and striking a good deal with Trump. Gusto Ferdonzo, thank you for $2 holla. Welcome to the CIA, Mr. Traoré and AES. Gustavo for Donzo, thank you for $5 holla. Did anybody see the report out of Congo? They signed the same health bill, but they also reported that they gave the U.S. rights to their coltan mines.
Now, Congo is now Burkina Faso, so you need to get that out of the way. So what I was trying to say is this, right? Basically, what I'm hearing coming from the Western YouTuber is like, damn, if Traore stand on what is right for his country, the Westerners are going to come and bomb him, right? So you usually hear that from people here. So if it doesn't, then the people in the country are also going to get him. So what is it? What do you want him to do? So if he struck a good deal for the interest of his people, then you got to leave it at that, because he know what he's doing and he's going to just go ahead and do what he wants to do, right? And for I like when you bring the past, right? Guinea, going to Russia. I like when you do that. But for me, I like to go by actions. We learn from the past, right? We're going to have to allow ourselves to move on by learning from what we did in the past. Every time when I tell you, AES is not making the mistake of the past, right? Because we are aligned with Russia, other people don't want to talk about the other countries because they're too afraid to mention our power. We have other countries in AES that no one wants to mention. And I understand why. Because they hate Russia. They just want to make this about Russia. And I get it. That's fine. If you had a bad experience with Russia, that's fine. I will learn from you. That's fine. Right? But don't sit here and say, oh, Burkina only wants to do business with Russia. No one in AES ever said that. The French made it clear. Let me finish. The French made it clear they hate they hate the Russians and they don't want to work with the Russians. The French left, like the leader that was talking, they have cousins in Europe. They went to the cousin and they told the cousin to turn their backs on us. And the cousin did. Hopefully the cousin came back because they understood the French were leading them on the wrong path. They came back, right? People should talk about those. How about the German that came back? How about all these European nations that came back to sign deal with the AES? No one talk about it. Leave Russia alone.
I talk about
Russia will tell you,
oh,
if you know
Miss
Russia,
James,
right?
Miss
If
St.
you know
James,
Russia,
they came back begging. They came
right?
back
If you
begging.
know Russia,
They came back
Russia
begging.
will tell you.
Big difference.
Russia will tell you. Go to others that can help you also. Trust me, if you know someone who knows Russia, they will tell you. When they deal with your country, they will tell you, you can rely on us on this and that, but for the other things, go to other country as well. Russia is not exclusive. They want you to do business with whoever you feel like doing business with. That's why sometimes I don't understand people telling us that.
Do business with America. Russia still do business with America.
Absolutely.
This is what I don't get though. America and Russia are currently
on that note, okay. So
if America's today want to build a nuclear plant in Burkina Faso, want to help us with our water system, do you think Ibrahim Traoré is going to sit there and tell them, because you're America, I don't want your help? Do you really think that? Let's not make us like we are dumb people.
If he love his nation, if he love his nation, he would not do that. Of course,
if it makes sense, he will sign it.
Why wouldn't he do that if he loves his nation?
Wait, exactly. You know, if he love his nation, he would not refuse it, because obviously he want the best for his nation.
It has to make sense for us. It has to make sense for the people. If it does, he will sign it.
St. James, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Okay, this is why the bottom line is is what these leaders in West Africa should do. They should strengthen their institution first, okay? They should strengthen the institution and make laws. So if a company is going to come to invest in Burkina Faso, right, that company is not going to come and take the advantage of the
Do you know the law that was passed in Burkina Faso? Any company that generates over $5 million have to do the headquarters, in that country, employ the people, and make sure they spread the resources to the people.
Exactly.
No president in Africa, Burkina Faso, ever done that for his people.
That's good. That's good.
They come, they loot your country, they take the resources out, and nobody benefit. They put that law in place.
And that'd be a point though.
So we are not in disagreement. The problem is we are not in disagreement.
But these are not talked about. These are actions that are not talked about. We are here talking about Russia, and the man is over there building for his people.
Right, that's good. Thank you very much. The more we talk, the more we come to an agreement. The only difference is when people shouting over each other, and before someone finish explaining what they think is right or not, people already made their own conclusion, which is wrong. That's not how you actually come here to learn.
Actually, when you talk, I listen to you, because when you talk about Guinea, you talk about Russia. I know you are very knowledgeable, and I listen to you. But sometimes we have to be more clear. You know, to tell the people, a lot of people didn't live through that. They don't know exactly what happened, because your president was sabotaged. Your currency, the French went in there and sabotaged your currency. That's why Sékou Touré was having trouble. Maybe, yes, he did do certain things that didn't work well for the country, but you're not gonna negate the fact that the French did not want him to succeed.
And they did not. They actually made that clear by what they did before they left the country. They poured concrete in the sewage system, and they smashed all the bulb, before they left.
So that poor man got the right intention for his people. He has the right intention.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say now is moving forward. So it's a good thing that you say this is how we debate. By the fact that you just said Burkina Faso is making laws to strengthen their institutions, that makes me more pro Russia, pro whatever it's doing, which I already am anyway. But before I was very skeptical, and also the opinion based on what I'm getting, the vibes I'm getting from people, right? That when I speak, people think I was anti-Russia. Okay, but the reality is I'm not anti-Russia. I am not in favor of any country seeking independence and boxing themselves just in one. Basically, you cannot be divorced with the French and just go to the Russians.
You're not, though.
You have to spread your wings.
I think that what you understand what I'm trying to say now, Tim James. I think what triggered people is when you said socialism didn't work, and see what happened in Guinea. Socialism didn't work, and that's why Guinea.
You understand my point now?
And what I'm saying,
I get you. We're
socialism.
Thank you.
It's why Guinea didn't work. It's just like
let me pass the mic to Omcar. Go ahead, Omcar, and then read the super chat of Chris Reed 3227. Thank you for telling. Holla, go ahead, Omcar.
Hello, Dynast, a long time. Hello to the panel. Hey,
Yeah.
Elvis. Yeah,
What's
this
up,
is
brother?
Omkar, your brother from Congo. It's been a while. I was down, doing the work. So yeah, I'm
Good to
coming
see
back.
you, bro.
Yeah. First of all, let me start with the sister and the people who were saying that our independent or like Sekou independent figures, failed because of so-called communism or whatever. First of all, I don't know if people knows nationalism and how these imperialist capitalists look at nationalism. They don't like it. Lumumba was not communist. Lumumba, I am from eastern part of Congo, and I'm a descendant of Lumumbist. So I was brought up in Lumumbist, which I came to find that it's kind of has a lot of ideas of Pan-Africanism and nationalism.
Oh,
But
now I remember you now. You're the man with
yeah,
the books. You love to
yeah,
read books, man.
yeah. I'm the
Oh, I was
guy.
trying to figure your voice. Yeah, you love to read books, man. I like that. I like that. Any
That,
man
that
that love to read books, it's a
that's
valuable
me.
brain.
That's me. Our independent leaders did not fail because they didn't have brilliant ideas. Or because they didn't like the West. But it's because the West didn't like those guys, most of those guys, to succeed. Nyerere have spoken about this. I know Dinas try to always blame socialism and stuff. And for me, even though I have criticism now of some of the ideas of Lumumbis, but I always say now in Africa, there are think tanks who are thinking about African, what we can call Africanism, our own way of thinking about our development in health and stuff. So when it comes to this deal, which the US is pushing on many countries, I know you've touched about Congo. In Congo, you can look at it like a US, as somebody said, a colony of United States right now. Because first of all, the guy who we have there, he is in power by the help of some agent of US. And Kagame, of course, is a US agent. So from both sides, they were using Kagame to get some of the deal which they've got. And, the guys there, but, as you know. So when it comes to Burkina Faso, like my sister said, yes, Traoré probably there is other way how he was threatened or how, but I admire Traoré. And I know that, let's not think that they don't think that this might be a Trojan horse. It can be used as a Trojan horse. But I believe they have other ways or other ideas which they think it can also help them, or they can find something beneficial for their country on this. So that's what I can say about that. But when it comes to our African freedom fighters, most of them, they were nationalists. But the imperialists, capitalists, they don't like nationalism, because nationalist, it means you are for your country only. That's why even us, who are grandchild of Lumumbis, we've started working on that and saying we are, because we've seen saying patriot, even if you are nationally, but telling them or selling yourself as a patriot or with patriotism. That's what they understand, because that means you are for your country, but you are open to do business with other people or with them. Yeah, so as not to monopolize the I will stop. But
thank you for that, bro. The other thing too is
That was
that
my point.
if
Thank you
the
very much. Thank you.
am I not talking right now? I mean, you could
Oh
talk
my
if you
God!
want to. You want to go before me? Go ahead. You go ahead. All right. So let me
Hey
say
guys,
what I'm
let
gonna
me
say.
pass
I'm gonna
the
say what
mic
I'm saying.
to Kala. Go ahead, Kala, because Kala just joined the panel. Go ahead, Kala. Kala. All right. Go ahead, go ahead, Shaw.
All right. So Ghana made the African diaspora the whatever region of Ghana, 17th region or something like that. The AU we're supposed to be the honorary region, 6th region. If we are thinking right, $147 million is not a lot of money when you have 50 million people. Even if it's only 10 million of those 50 million people that put twos and fews together, which we're not even doing for ourselves, which we should be doing for ourselves. And this is the big thing, right? Really, when you talk about Pan-Africanism, is really us coming into dealing with our own education, our own economics, and I think it's harder for Americans, for us as being in America, to to have the confidence in ourselves, to have the trust in ourselves, to build our own communities like we did at the turn of the century. Because when we came out of slavery, we were more connected to our culture and who we are as a people. We had the agency because we knew who we were. And as Carter G. Woodson said 92 years ago, he talked about the miseducation of the Negro almost 100 years ago. Those people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, weren't as affected by the miseducation of the Negro at that time. The mindset of Black folks at that time we weren't as affected. And so colonial education that's still being taught in Nigeria and other parts of Africa is crucially has to be changed all across the board. This is why it's important for us to have one country, one economics, one economy, one currency, because all of those things need to be done at the same as quick as possible. Change the education, get the currency, all those things, right? This is an Aesop fable, ain't it? But it's true. It's got to be dealt with if we're
Wait,
going to
you
change.
talk about one country, like as far as the whole sub-Saharan Africa?
Yeah.
Brother, come on, brother.
No, but I'm saying it's an Aesop fable, right? But I'm saying that if we never knew 4 years ago that 3 countries would unite in the Sahel, that would be unthinkable too. 4 years
Like,
ago,
it's
we would
not
never think.
unthinkable. It's just as far as like looking at it realistically in the near future, it's gonna have like drastic changes. Like in order for that to occur, it's gonna have to be like war before that occurs, brother. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but I'm saying though, with that being said though, if young people are revolting in Kenya and Mozambique and Nigeria and Ivory Coast and Cameroon, if the young people revolt enough and take over and establish the right leadership, it could happen sooner than later.
Brother, majority of the youth in the world is pro-West. We're everywhere in Africa, everywhere in the diaspora. Most young people don't have a revolutionary mindset. So it's just like we can speak about it theoretically, but pragmatically and realistically, it's just not realistic right now. In order for that to occur, it's going to have be mass socialization and education
The
first.
cell phone.
It's not going to happen organically right now. These people are too
Let
programmed.
me pass the mic to go ahead, Kala.
Yeah, well, thanks, guys, for having me. I'm in DC. We're ready to board my flight tomorrow morning to Liberia. This is an interesting topic, right? And it seems to me that the problem is people from my generation and older. We got a conspiracy theory for everything. And it could be the fact that, who knows? It might be, I'm not sure. I just know, okay, we lived through Tuskegee and all stuff like that, And so what I don't want is this. Like, look, there's some things going on right now that really disturb me. One is this ADOS FBA movement, right? And it's basically destroying all the years that we building the Black race up globally, right? Out of nowhere, you got people actually talking about severing ties with Africa. You got a fool in your chat room the other day, just a minute ago, Diane. I don't know why your moderator, you should make me a moderator, man, so I get rid of him, said that we're not FBA, not even they're saying they're American Indian. And so if you're American Indian, why are you on this freaking platform? Why are you talking
Kyle, this platform's for everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, that's it. But that's why I got my platform, right? Because he would have gone, Anyway, my whole thing is this: you have people out there, right? We don't know what the truth is, right? I don't know, I would like to think that Ibrahim Traoré and these guys know what's in the best interest of their country, their people. That's all we can do, can we? Remember that we're over here in the United States. We're still in the United States. So he's going to cut a deal with Trump, whatever like that. When I look at this young guy, Traoré, he doesn't strike me as somebody that would take a shortcut deal. He's sort of like somebody that's very thorough and is well thought about what he's about to do. But sometimes I think, I'll be honest with you, Diane, I think people
who don't like, just like people spread nasty rumors about Paul Kagame. Paul Kagame is a saint to me, right? It's that people basically who don't want Pan-Africanism to work. They don't want Pan-Africanism to work. And so therefore, and they don't want Black people in America to have any hope in Pan-Africanism. So why not try to discredit them? Now, I'm going to land like this. This has been done a long time before. For example, the Pan-African Congress in South Africa was a Black nationalist organization, and the ANC, right? Influenced by Black radicals in the United States, right? So therefore, they said, well, we got the African youth, we can't have that being popular. It's like they did with Jack Johnson, right? So what they did create an alternative in Kata, and they basically said, okay, don't worry about Black and white and stuff like that. Just talk about your particular culture, and that basically pitted Zulu versus Xhosa. You see what I'm saying? I mean, the people who are going after Traoré, I really suspect that these are tribalists, and these are people who are enablers of white supremacy. Because there's absolutely no reason to oppose this man right now. I can't like this. And I told Elvis said, well, I'm not trying to pick on Elvis, but he did say, well, he came to power by the gun. But Elvis's favorite person.
Tyler, what tea are you drinking, man? What tea are you drinking?
But no, what are you talking about?
Tyler's speaking facts, though, in regards to the people that.
That's what I'm saying. What type of tea is he drinking?
Let me say this. I don't have a dog in this fight. You're one of those mossy people, right? Those stubborn, ignorant, mossy people, right?
Colin, for calling my name, you're gonna get diarrhea in Liberia, Colin.
Okay, well, anyway, you guys gotta do what you gotta do. What's best for your country? Because I'm not gonna go to Burkina Faso, right? All I could do is wish for the best, because if Traoré succeeds against Donald Trump, Putin, and all these other people, that's going to inspire a lot of people in the Black world that they can do something in their own way, But tearing this man down, what do you gain from this? I don't understand it. It's like we cheered. People were cheering when Marcus Garvey got deported. There was actually people celebrating when Malcolm X was assassinated. There's people, some Black people just goddamn sick. You have people now, FBA people burning the red, black, and green flag. Why the hell would you friggin', even if you don't agree with that, what the hell that you hate something that at its core is trying to liberate you? And so, like I said,
they might be ops.
It's slave syndrome, brother.
I think some of these Negroes are just real, for real,
It is real. Our people have slave syndrome, brother. That's the majority, though. Majority of our people think like this, and that's what people don't.
I think it's just a large vocal minority.
People don't vocalize it, but when you see how they operate with just the businesses that they patronize, the things that they subscribe to in their day-to-day lives, they operate like that. They don't have to enunciate it.
Yeah, they don't have
our people are backwards, man.
They're not conscious. I get that, But even if you're not conscious, right, I can excuse that. But when you consciously, right, spend all the time on on social media sites, we're not African. I hope saying things like, I hope the West bombs Traoré. What the hell do you get out of that? What the hell do you get out of that? These people aren't just unconscious people. These people are aggressive, and they hate being Black, and they hate any sort of Black success. So for me, I stick with Traoré. Just only reason because I don't believe in attacking any Black man I believe is doing right. I don't agree with him, a lot of stuff he does, whatever like that. But I see a Black man, he's trying to make it. Same thing I said about Paul Kagame, Julius Malema, all that like that. I believe their heart's in the right place. As a Black nationalist, I'll support them. That's what I feel,
Kagame's an agent, though, but I agree with everything else you said.
But as a geopolitical move.
See, that's what I said. Hold up. See, I don't want to get into this, right? Don't you think I studied all of that? He's not an agent. He's a man that's head of state. Rwanda is like one of the most advanced countries in the world right now. Cleanest country in the world right now. He takes his time out of his day on Saturday to help clean up, getting his hands dirty. This guy is really trying to build his nation.
Those are good things.
I'm not saying he's not, but he's doing it at the expense of his labor.
Those are good things.
At the behest of the United States. So
Those are
that's
good
not
things.
good.
But even though
And
those are good
I don't
things,
see. I don't see any Americans there. I don't see any white people there. I don't see none of
No,
that stuff
he's
like.
destabilizing the whole eastern side of
Yeah,
Congo
but
with
how
the
you? But
influence
hold
of
on,
right?
hold
Syria
on,
and
That's
hold
the
on,
Russia,
hold on.
bad
man. Come on.
things.
Here's where you're wrong,
Yeah.
right? That region was destabilized for almost 100 years.
He's
Before you
helping.
got there.
He's helping further
No,
destabilize it.
that Egypt Congo region was in chaos, but it's a Belgium and the French and all these
But he
people.
has a
I'm not.
hand
I'm
in it
not.
some
I'm
kind of
not
way,
saying that's not
College
true.
Innocence.
Carl, is that true? The Congolese brother, is that true what Carl is saying? Because that's how I like the
No,
conversation to go. The man from
No,
Congo,
no.
can you?
I can
you
quote.
gotta
Okay.
Let me.
leave. They don't want to
Can you
hear
give me
Kagame
the
a
1
Belgium.
hater,
minute,
Never talk
man.
Carla?
about the Belgium.
Yes, you can.
Never talk
Carl, you
about the
go. You
Belgium.
go. You're
Never talk
Congolese.
about.
Go.
Carla,
Go.
Never talk about the
Carla.
Belgian. But never talk about the French. All they want
College
to talk
gonna
about is
keep
Kagame.
talking.
I hate
He won't
friggin'
stop
race
talking.
trade. I can't stand it. You know.
Carla, this is the thing. That region, if you read the history of that region,
Well, I do read the history of the region. It's always
listen.
been messed up.
Okay. Let me quote from this researcher. This is from Professor Christian Davenport in his research, which he did 10 years in Rwanda and visiting Congo, and what he came to conclusion to. I'll read in this book where they quote him. It's called Holocaust in Congo, the International Community Omerta, page 32. The main idea was to install a leader at the helm of Rwanda who would be capable of invading the Congo Zaire and seizing its resources for the benefit of Western mining companies and let me finish.
Carla, let the
And
man finish. Carla.
Anglo-American private interests supported by certain Western leaders. And I close the quote. So, the region is of high interest to the Western because of all those wealth, and that's why they analyze.
They can take it. They don't need Paul Kagame to take that region.
They did in the 1990s. Carla, listen. In the 1990s,
they sat there and 2 million people.
Carla, let him finish. You can come back, Carla. I promise. I promise you can come back after him.
This is what I'm talking about here. And you know what's going to happen? The same thing's going to happen in Sahel. Something's going to happen in one of these countries, and everybody's going to see him dogpile on Kagame.
It's not true. It's not true. If Ibrahim Traoré starts destabilizing other countries that are his neighbors, people are going to say something.
For the damn opportunity to blame Traoré for something.
No, we're not.
No, we are not blaming Traoré.
No, it hasn't happened yet. Right, and it hasn't happened yet. If it's going to happen, but his name is implicated.
He wouldn't do that.
He's implicated in a lot of stuff. He's also there's a lot of raw resources leaving out of Rwanda. Those are things. There's a lot of
in fact, if anything, Traoré is helping West Africa by fighting the jihadists so it doesn't spread in the region. The man has been doing well, and in fact, James, me and you might have so many disagreements. But remember the first time I encountered you, I said I blame a lot of other West African countries for not helping Burkina Faso early at the early stage of the terrorism to put this thing to sleep, and they left it too late. Yeah, and they left it too late, and now the guy went to the Russians. But
Traoré, they actually him of being a Muslim terrorist or not. I'm hearing it right now. They're saying he's trying to destabilize Ghana and all this kind of nonsense and everything. Come on, man.
Well, there's going to be detractors. They're going to be detractors, but how much ground is that going to get, though?
That's what he said about Paul Kagame. Little chatter.
No, but there are raw resources leaving.
The same thing.
But College Genesis, there are raw resources leaving out of Rwanda, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
There was a disagreement in Zimbabwe, right?
College, I asked you a question though, bro. Can you answer this?
People turned on him by internet chatter, and next thing you know, freaking Mugabe was overthrown in a coup by this.
Yeah, but allegedly 20,000 people were killed in, which is a lot of his country. The countrymen say that they didn't like him because of that. All those deaths that happened after, that happened.
You got people in the bush killing each other. Is that all him?
No. That doesn't make it right though. Even if you got people in the bush doing that.
People like you, Shy, get on my freaking nerve.
Okay.
all you guys are
Kala.
Okay.
The very
relax and
people,
enjoy your trip, brother. Don't get
the
yourself
very
all worked
people
up,
that
man.
Kagame is helping.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
reported the rape, the killing, the mass rape of the
we're about a
M23.
million Tutsi women
Is reported, is there. Kagame is supporting that group, man. What I'm trying to ask you is this, right? As we have all seen what Kagame has done in Rwanda with Kigali. We have all seen that. I applaud him for that. But I'm just asking, can the two brothers, Congo and Kigali, can get it together
why
so
does the
no one
Congo
dies, right?
together so they won't
And allow them to exploit the resources without no one being killed. Is that possible? A true leader can work towards that. You don't have to kill people to exploit the
you got
resources.
a president of Congo.
Yeah,
Right
Carl,
now,
my brother.
Congo,
Carl, 1 second. Carl, I just want to ask
let me say
a
this.
question.
Hold on.
I'll be coming on your show, College Genesis, to see why you don't like people like me. I'll be coming on your show.
Hold up. Look,
Let Carla land.
My ancestors are actually from Congo, right? And they're giving the Congolese president is handing over the riches of the Congo to this white devil, Donald Trump, and whatnot, And so please don't tell me about no goddamn Paul Kagame. I'm sick and tired of hearing it. You guys have
we said the two countries. The two countries.
Yeah, the two countries, bro. Anyway, Carl, have you seen the documentary with Momodu in Congo? You know the boy that got killed? The Congolese brother. Have you? No, Carla and Carla said 1 second. Carl, have you seen it? Yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen. Okay,
Carla, let the brother speak now.
I have not heard
Carla, 1 second.
He's not going to stop
talking.
Carla,
let him speak.
He's emotional, man.
He's just going to keep talking.
Carla,
let the Congolese brother speak.
Carla, my Congolese brother, how many video are there on YouTube when Kabila father was in power? How many times did he go to Kagame and beg him to leave his country? Is that true or not? How many times did he do that?
It's true. Even proposing him deals,
rebels,
listen, Carla. Listen,
you guys are not privy to that information. Kabila father was begging him. He was the one that brought him to Congo to help him, and he told him he made all kind of money in Congo, and it's about time to leave. Kagame refused to leave.
Right, but James, I want to hear from the Congolese brother.
Carla, we can't hear you.
Carla,
we can hear you, Carla.
Carla, we can't hear you. You're just talking and people are talking over you, Carla.
Yeah, Congolese brother, remember about Amadou, the guy that was helping to defeat the rebels?
Mamadou Dala.
Yeah.
They call him. Okay. Let me speak on Traoré and Ibrahim Traoré, if we can compare him to Kagame.
And then we need to pay attention to Johnny Mamadou.
Meeting with Africa Command and then sending agency reps to Ukraine. That is a bad look. You're going to meet with Traoré, and then you're going to meet with Africa Command over military stuff, and then you're going to send your ministers to Ukraine to talk about POWs and drone technology.
There you go.
Make sense.
You pull the AFRICOM card. Okay, all right.
Yeah, this is the thing.
That's the start of an agent.
Please. Mamadou Dala.
Listen, Ibrahim Traoré.
Let me read the super chat. Gustavo Rendonzo, thank you for $5. This is how it starts though. A little health bill here, a meeting with U.S. AFRICOM here, and then soon, boom, welcome to the CIA. You're now an agent.
That's what Muhammad's doing in Ghana.
This is the thing. Though. Ibrahim Traoré from origin, Ibrahim Traoré is a revolutionary. He's for our people, and we send him all the positive vibes that we can to this guy. Even the way how he didn't come to power by letting millions of people unalived. Or he didn't come to power from another country having committed, massacres of hundreds of thousands in the other country. That's different. After coming to power, it's been how many years is it? He has never invaded another country, which is different from our neighbor Paul Kagame. It's not like I don't give him credit for something. Hey, Kala,
Kala, salary, presidential salary. He still has his captain salary.
I'll give you 10 minutes. If you can give me 1 minute, I'll leave you 5 minutes, then I can respond again later on.
Yeah, please answer my question. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Paul Kagame, remember Paul Kagame took place in the rebellion in Uganda. And they in Uganda, they will tell you that there is a place called Luero Triangle. You can go and research. Hundreds of thousands of Ugandans were unalived, and they blame this group, not their own NRM, but they blame this group which was headed by him. Then after that, because the Ugandan had enough of it, they start saying, no, these people gotta go to their country. That when with the Ugandan, the MI5, with the help of the brother here in America, and actually, do you know that the United States had an operation in Rwanda when Kagame took power? You can get White House documents on that operation. It's called Operation Support Hope, to go and train those guys who were planning to invade Congo. Everything now it's in documentation is in archive. You can go to White House archive and you'll find documents. Wait now. Let me finish.
Oh my God, I'm getting headache from this, Kala. Please, Kala, let me finish.
Kala, wait till you finish it, Kala. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm not taking all the credit out of Paul Kagame. Yes, Paul Kagame, from the crumbs which he's getting from this Western multinational, he's doing something in Kigali, he's doing something here and there in Rwanda. Yes, we give him those credits, but he's also enriching himself, which is not very bad. He's a multimillionaire. His son has a mansion in California. But the problem is this: even this current president, which I don't like, when he came to power, he went and spoke to Kagame. Brother, let's stop this war thing. Let's go into deals. We can exploit together. I can give you access to manage some, the parks which we have in Congo side. We can go into deals of mining. There is like a Kivu mining company. We can do joint venture together. But because the brother has another mindset, is hegemonic, according to the very studies, these are hegemonic people. They don't want only that. They want something else, which I don't have time to go through here.
Right.
He couldn't stop. That's why he sponsored the M23, which have unalived my own brother. My own brother died in this war, and it's so many people. So, and it's not the first time. This is deja vu. This happened also in 2012. Obama helped. This also happened in 2009. This has happened also in 1998. Because, like the brother was saying, because then the Laurent Desire Kabila guy told Rwanda, we're gonna pay the bill for helping us. Now you need to go back. You see, so they are two different people. They are two different kind of African leaders. They are not the same.
So what about Mamadou Dala? Mamadou
Dala is this brave Congolese guy. His father is originally from West Africa. And his mother, she's a Congolese. He was born in Congo, so he's considered Congolese, who went through the army rank training, and he was patriotic. He was given a task. After training, he was given a task to take on, in 2012, the other Rwandan-sponsored rebellion, the first M23. And he kicked, they are behind to the point where they were pushed back to Rwanda and Uganda.
Kicked them out, didn't they?
But unfortunately, because of these other brothers from Rwanda who we've accepted as Congolese, and they are in the army, some of those guys, they what can we say? They
betrayed him.
Yeah, they took command from Rwanda and so on, and they unalive him. They killed the brother.
Okay, can I say something for the
documentary? Yeah, of course, but thank you.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's the last thing I'm gonna say. Then I'm gonna shut up. What's gonna happen in the AES and the rest of the African country is going to be determined by what happened in the Middle East. It's going to be a broader war. Europe is sending in an armada, is on his way to the the Persian Gulf, or they're probably going to stay out into the more into the Indian Ocean for safety purposes and stuff like that. This is a bad thing right now, but it's a good thing for Africa because the so-called Middle East is finished as an investment zone. Investments is going to be pouring into Africa right now. Tourism is going to be pouring into Africa right now, right? And Africa need to prepare for this. You see what I'm saying? And take advantage of it because the Middle East is finished. I promise you. I know you guys can't see it, right?
I hope
but
so.
it is finished right now. No, people are trying to get the hell out of there right now. You see what I'm saying? It is finished as a state investment zone. All right. Now, Africa need to take advantage of this. All right. And I'm going to say one last thing. Kyle, are you still on board?
Yeah, I'm on board. I'm waiting for you to finish up.
All right. Say hi to my step uncle for me, George. Okay, when you get there, if you could see him.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, George. Where? Now you
literally, I'm not joking. Literally, that's my step uncle.
Is it? Oh wow! Wow. Wicked.
Man, Delroy, tell your uncle, man, it's been a lot of dancing going on YouTube from George Weah, man. We need more than that, man. You know, Africa got serious issue for him to be dancing on every video.
He's not president. He's a private citizen.
No, man. Life after the presidency doesn't mean you got to be on video dancing. The region, West African regions, is not looking good. It's not looking good.
St. James.
You know, we can use his expertise, right?
It's still family.
We're the coast. We like
he was dancing before politics. He's going to dance after politics.
There's a lot of dancing going on, man. Every time I open my phone, George Weah is over there dancing to whatever.
Let the man dance, man. He can barely move his leg in that military fatigue, man.
In these private cities that these Europeans are setting up, like they did in Honduras, they're trying to do that in Venezuela. Peter Thiel is talking to Patrice Talon.
The Musi man know how to dance.
That they're setting up in Africa.
You see most of the European former president giving the expertise, helping the countries.
At the same time, bro. Somebody.
One day we'll let you come and drink some Poyo in Sierra Leone, Liberia. You know, it's a good palm wine, good palm wine.
So I don't agree with the fact that Africa is going to be in a good place. I do believe that the Middle East is going to shape what's going to happen to Africa, but not in a good way, because we see that how things are shaping up. We see these private cities. They want to build a private city in Benin, Republic of Benin. Peter Thiel, I think that's his name, is talking to the president there. And they want to do what they have in Honduras, where they have their own laws and they can do whatever they want to do. And the government
they want a Euro stand.
Right. So, but I'm saying though, this is what they are going to probably try to do all over Africa. And guess what?
If they want to do it, they can do it because
probably it's two different things from allowing it.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is what they're known to do, though. This is what they're known to do. And getting that medical data, that's all they need. Once they get the data of the people. Information is king. That's the money right now.
Do you know what? Yeah, someone just shot the bang off earlier. Well, I think that was quite disingenuous.
Give Carla a chance to speak. Give Carla a chance to speak.
Carla, hold on. What's a Carla? You got 45 seconds, Carla.
I need a bit more than that, but anyway, this idea that what you're talking about, the city, based on everything I'm knowing about Africa and all this stuff like that, it's going to be an easy thing to do. Because Africans are so busy fighting with each other and whatnot, they forget about a couple of years ago, Muslims tried to dismantle Mozambique. They forget about Frelimo and Renamo battle in Mozambique's history, right? They forget about the 30-something year war in Angola and whatnot, you know? It was called Kagame behind that? No. You know, all the stuff that you see going on in Africa is bigger than one or two players or not, but they have you so focused on one or two black people, right? You don't see the bigger picture. You don't see what Marco Rubio just said. They have every intention of taking Africa over and subjugating people, because the bottom line is you guys too stupid to sit here
And George Weah is dancing on video. And George Weah on video dancing. Right?
I love George Weah, you know. I am St. James. I actually love the guy, man.
Those
Let him dance, man. St. James, you can't dance. You just jealous of his dance moves.
Let me get my time.
He doesn't know the dance, bro. The guy doesn't even know the dance. That's what I'm telling you.
All right, go ahead, Carla.
The last thing I will say about the Kagame Congo situation, right? I know about this for a while, right? There are Congolese, Rwandan rebels who are Tutsi in the eastern part of the Congo. And they got Hutus there too. But the most dangerous one are the Tutsis, because they want revenge for what happened in that massacre. And they don't want to go along with Paul Kagame trying to build a coalition government of Hutus. You're not even allowed to say Hutus and Tutsis in Rwanda right now. He built a nationalist country, So what I'm saying, you got those people in eastern Congo, right? And also, you know what I found out, Dinus? Remember when Holub and all of them went to Rwanda back in 2019? Remember that?
Yeah.
Jamal told me they found out there's actually rebel groups inside of Rwanda, sleeper cells, that the government monitors, right? But the thing is, the government is keeping them cut off from their base over in the Congo. So if the bottom line is, for God forbid, if some weapons get across the border, you could have the same thing that happened in 94 again. That's what you're up against. So put things in a proper context when you talk about Paul Kagame. That's what you're like. He watched a million people die. He watched a million people die in 5 days. That's what you got.
Okay. Yeah, we know that. This is the problem with Africa. I said that before. I think we're too busy. We're too busy in fighting.
I understand black African life don't mean nothing to you, right? That's just
that's not true though. What does that have to do with him? What does that have to do with him exporting more coltan than Rwanda produces? That he's getting from the eastern region of Congo.
Kala,
is trying to keep the peace in that area, whatever necessary.
No, he's not, man. That's a lie. You just put that. You propaganda. That's a lie. It's not true.
Let me tell the truth. Let me tell you the truth from what you just said and what is propaganda which they fed you. Yes, in Rwanda. Listen, Kala.
Listen to the Congolese, bro.
Listen, I'm from that region. I am my mother's side has the Tutsi, the Tutsi origin, and from my dad's side, I am a full-blown Congolese. So I'm able to tell you the truth from propaganda. First of all, it's propaganda to say that it's because there is Hutus and Tutsi in that region. So if he doesn't go there, there will be there's nothing like that.
Let me ask you a question, brother. Where you live?
Kala, give me just 1 minute, brother. Let me inform
Come
you,
on,
brother.
man. Kala, you already spoke.
Listen, Kala, I can give you reference, Kala. Kala, if you have time and if you can, please, it's not much. It just is a great book, because I'm sure you know the propaganda which the Kagame group and their backers like the Clintons have pushed out about what happened in Rwanda. Now, I advise you to read or to look for this book, In Praise of Blood, The Crimes of Rwandan Patriotic Front, because this is what they hide you.
Are they talking about what the Belgium did?
Listen, Kala, listen to me a little bit. Kala, and if you want through Dynast, I can even send you this book for free. I can send it, then you read it. When you finish, you bring it, you send it back to me, or I can pay even the return mail so that you may know. Of course, Kagame, what he's afraid about that region, because he knows that due to what he did in Rwanda and Uganda, there might be a revenge against him, and he can be he can be overthrown. But the thing of so-called, there will be millions of people, other people killed. First of all, this is what the journalist Kate Cronin-Fuhrman of Los Angeles Review Books wrote about the G-side in Rwanda. He said this: what you know about the account which suggests that the Rwanda's G-side took place, that narrative suggests that the Rwanda state narrative of this. Listen. The Rwanda state narrative of the genocide is not just one-sided and simplistic, but fundamentally false. Listen, Kala, it's not like that. That's what they sold to the world, but the reality is not. How can people look, Kala? If you ever ask yourself, listen, Kala, if you ever ask yourself, if the Hutu,
no, but you know, you're insulting all Africans, Kala. You're insulting all Africans now. It doesn't make no sense.
My bro. Don't spend too much time with brother Kala, bro. Don't worry about Kala, man.
He has his mind made up.
Don't worry about Kala, bro.
He's gonna go. This is the problem we face.
It's a lost cause, bro. Don't worry about it.
On this panel. Yeah, it's the problem we face on this panel, because when we come here and talk about our personal experience, you know, people get shut down and stuff like that. I'm glad.
Kala, the guys from Congo, his mother's Tutsi or Hutu. I was listening. You see how you shut him down? You see how you shut him down?
Exactly.
Come on, man.
He mentioned that you know Belgium is a derelict country that has absolutely no language, no nothing like that.
Everybody knows that, Kala. What are you talking about? The guy was actually talking, making a great point, and we chose not to listen. You shut him down.
We want to learn from him.
So now, people in the chat, people who are listening, they're not going to experience what he has to say, right?
Kala, man, you taking away from the audience, man. I wanted to hear what he had to say. You being emotional.
Or do you listen? Do you understand Kinyarwanda?
You guys have to forgive Kala. He's our drunk uncle. It's okay.
Yeah, we know.
Honestly, that's true. Kala, you are fed on propaganda, bro. You have to.
My only point I'm trying to say is this. My only point I'm trying to say is this, right? When somebody starts out and ends with somebody else black is the cause of their problems, and they don't give it the world in context. Now, if he would have said the Belgians this, Canadians this, the Turks this, when I listened to what the brother got to say, but he starts all his problems on Paul Kagame.
No, I don't say that. It's not listening, is it? I don't think.
Brother, can you continue with your story, brother? I wanted to hear what you were saying.
Kala, you didn't give me time. If you want me to tell you what the story, even in Rwanda, the whole problem is not only Paul Kagame, or it's not only the Hutu or the Tutsi. No, the Belgians have a part. Listen, the Belgian. Listen, Kala. Both the Hutu and Tutsi, they have a part in this problem, and the Belgian worked on the issue which they had, so as to rule over them. But it's not only the Belgian who put them one against each other from the beginning, from their history. If you understand their mythology, Kala, I'm talking to you because I know Rwandan history. I can tell you how Rwanda came to be a kingdom. From when, and I know how this problem started. I know the Congolese history, the Congo side of Rwandan history, because I'm from there. I know the Bahunde. I know how the Rwanda from the end of the beginning of 19th century, because of the problem in Rwanda, they start migrating to Congo. I can tell you all that story and with references. I know how some part of Rwanda today used to be part of some tribe which are in Congo today. Do you understand? And I know I can tell you all that from A to B, but I don't have time to tell for all that. That's why I'm going short and telling you what is necessary.
How did he get Ebola? How did Ebola came into Congo? How did he manage?
There was a guy who spoke about it already about the experiments.
That was AIDS though, through the oral polio vaccine.
Yes.
Yeah,
from that experiment which they were doing, yes, it's true that there was a lot of cases which, from that lab, they traced that a lot of cases of HIV in Congo. But there was also some Congolese, during Mobutu time, there was some Congolese lab specialists who were working on the cure already. We don't know the fact because this research was cut, when Congo was invaded, it was taken out.
So would you say most of your problem also came from Mobutu Sese Seko instead of just the west or the east?
So Mobutu has a huge part in the problem which we have today. Because, for example, I'll give you an example. If Mobutu has left us with a strong army, Rwanda and Uganda and Burundi, even if they had the backing of United States, they couldn't take us out as they did, easily like that. Do you understand? All that it's because of Mobutu's, corruption and the way how we destroy the army by leaving it only being a professional army to protect him and his family. That is part, But there is also
would there be a Mugabe? Would there be a Mugabe if this guy was still alive?
Who?
Mobutu. Would there be a Kagame if Mobutu was still alive?
If Mobutu was still alive, yes, there could be a Kagame because this is what happened in Rwanda. To take out Congo, Mobutu could be Mobutu was weakened by internal.
No, how to speak. I'm talking about how to speak.
The way how they speak?
No,
at the top of his career.
Kagame came with Museveni. He had help. He had help from Uganda.
Yeah, Kagame
they weakened Mobutu in order for them to be able to do that.
Yes, they weakened Mobutu. Yeah, the Western helped not to get Kagame in Rwanda, but to get Kagame and Museveni invade Congo. That's why they weakened Mobutu and
first when they removed Nelson Obote, and then they switched their attention to Rwanda, and when they removed
to remove Habyarimana, because this is what they did. Listen, do you know? Actually, they even tried to a coup d'etat within Habyarimana regime. When Habyarimana refused that he cannot invade Congo, because this is what a lot of people don't know. The first deal to invade Congo was given to Habyarimana. Habyarimana refused because he was afraid of Congo. Because actually Habyarimana went to school. A lot of Rwandan, they went to school in Congo. They were schooled in Congo. So Habyarimana also was trained in Congo. So he knew the strength of Congo in the 70s, in the 75, and even in the 80s. So he was afraid of that. He knew that Congo was very strong. But he didn't know that these people have been working so as to weaken the Congo army and the Mobutu's entourage. So they gave the deal to a guy called Mathieu Ngirampatse, who was kind of his minister. This guy also, he refused. He said, you cannot rape a strong woman. You understand? Now, this is when they tell Mathieu, if you refuse, we will back. Already the war was starting. It was in the 90s. We will back up your brothers who are in Uganda. Mathieu was like, instead of me doing that, you can go. This was actually the ambassador, the US ambassador in Rwanda. His name is Flatten. It is now, documents are out now, So that's when they went and back up Kagame now to invade and take over Rwanda, because Kagame has accepted that after doing that, he will help them to
Sorry, do you also think the East African Federation is behind the the plunder of Congo? The East African Federation, like country like Kenya, also making money from Uganda. Okay.
Not really. This is you have to understand this. If you have a house or a farm which is full of mines, full of wealth, and is not well guarded, even the person who didn't have an intention to come and steal from you, he is going to take advantage of that. So that's the case of East African, Federation. But it's not all countries, It's few individuals who they're working with Kagame.
Like Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda.
And Rwanda, yes. But it's not like it's a plan of the East African Federation. No, it's not the plan.
So why did you join? Why did you join? If it's not going to benefit you, why did you join them? Why didn't you join the West African?
Good question.
Central African Federation.
Yeah. As I've said it before, as you see, I'm from Kivu, and I have experience. I've lived in most of East. Let me see, which country I've never. Probably the country I've never spent more than a month in East African Federation. It might be only Uganda. So this is the thing. Most of us people from eastern part of Congo, we have long-term relationship with Eastern African countries. Like historically, Tanzania is one of our best friends in East Africa.
Right.
And for our business, for example, my father was doing import and export in eastern part of Congo. He was using the port of Mombasa and Dar es Salaam. Through Kigoma to Uvira, that's how we were supplying North Kivu and South Kivu. But that political move of Tshisekedi was not totally the wish of Congolese, because even the business association in Kivu, they were against it. But because at that time, Tshisekedi was very close to Kagame, because remember, this guy came to power not because he won election. No, he came to power through Kagame, Museveni connection, and the former president who was there, Joseph Kabila. Now, Kagame, through that agreement. Now, with the agreement with Kagame, Kagame was smart. He knew that if this guy adhered to the East African community bloc, Kagame will have is easy of getting into Congo without too much, being, without being stopped or without a lot of condemnation. That's how that move was done. So he convinced Tshisekedi, I'll help you. But one of the things we have to do with you is to bring Congo into East African Federation. Why? Because in our East African Federation, they are at this level which they want to create a free, a free movement of people, and even a free market access.
Free trade.
Yeah, free trade.
And weren't they supposed to come up with a currency too?
Not yet. The currency, not yet. Passport. They were thinking about the passport. But it's a good thing for the country which have been, stable for a long time, because they have time, they can manage their security. But for Congo, it was disadvantages. So that's why most of us Congolese were against that. But because this president, it's like he doesn't, he is not accountable to Congolese for real. He went with that move. You see? That's how it works.
Here's the twist, my brother. Here's the twist, my brother. For us from West Africa, right? We're looking at you guys like our Bantus, brother. Are these people like what? 5 million Rwandese are able to flex on you over there in Congo? We don't understand. Like, what's going on? Tell me.
Okay. Yes. Can you tell me? Like a Bantu country which manufacture weapons and ammunitions and bombs?
No, it doesn't like that. I'm looking at the size first. Let's talk size.
Okay.
Like Rwanda and Congo.
Is Israel bigger? Yes. I'm giving you an example. Israel is not bigger than all the Arab world, right? But because they have Uncle Sam in their backyard, they can flex, and you can see what they are doing, what they are causing.
Who else is back in Rwanda? Uganda? Who else?
The Anglo-Saxon world.
Like
Kagame is so Tony Blair, for example. Tony Blair, do you know that Tony Blair?
Leave the Europeans out. Africans, just Africans, straight up Africans. Who are you afraid of?
No, we are not. It's not like Congolese are afraid of, but
to listen to Tshisekedi say that he can strike Kigali, right? If your president is telling you within a split of a second, I can strike Kigali, right? If I want to, and he says that, and then turn around being punked by Kagame, there's a problem there.
Yes, because
he's a commander in chief. If it says he's capable of doing something, right, to stop this, and then he turn around being punked by the same guy, like we can't understand. Like, are you guys capable? I'm not saying go destroy Kigali. That's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, is Congo like Kagame? This guy Tshisekedi is going all over the world, right? He's with the Russians. He's everywhere. No one knows who's Congo ally is, right? No, what you guys understand, I'm happy that you understand. Tshisekedi and Kagame, they eat at the same plate. They have the same right. Yeah. So you Congolese, so you understand that, right? You understand that Tshisekedi is not for the interest of Congo, right?
To some extent. So
no. Get that out of your system, brothers. He's not.
James, if he has something for the Congo, he should be doing better than that. But listen to this though. 2024 is when that currency was supposed to come out, and then it says that the East African Community Bloc was originally projected to launch its regional single currency by 2024. However, due to delays, just like ECOWAS, same old bullshit, this deadline has been extended to 2031. Now, to me, that's the same old bullshit that these big organizations are doing in Africa because they don't have no intentions on really doing shit. They're fucking around.
Heavily compromised, isn't it? But
it's crazy.
The point, I think you guys in Congo, St. James, just a point of correction, West African people are majority Manding people, they're not Bantu. But yeah, we are kind of related in a way.
We are related.
We
Yeah,
happen to be
depends
Niger
what you
Congo
say
people.
West Africa. All Africans are
Yeah,
related. Black Africans are
yes, of course.
related.
Yeah, it's true, true. So what I don't understand is why Congo, well, as Jim said, why can Congo align itself with the West African people? Because have we have more in common than those in the East, and we probably able to help you out. Look at this Mamadou Dala, this boy, just one boy from West African parents who went there, who managed to kick ass and get rid of M23. And that guy,
Look at
that guy
ISO
could have been.
speed.
Yeah. That,
Okay.
no, but, yeah, he's a West African boy, and he could
He's
have
an
been your next
African
Traoré,
American
but you
West
killed him.
African boy.
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm not talking
I'm talking about ISO
I'm
speed.
I'm talking about Indala. I'm Mamadou Indala.
Mamadou Ndala,
He knows
yes.
what I'm talking. Mamadou
Yeah.
Ndala. He's a black kid from West Africa. I don't know. He's more likely to be from the Senegambia region. He looked like one of us anyway. But he went there and he joined the army.
No,
Okay,
it's not like you went there. He was born there, bro. What are you saying? It's like
okay, he was born there. He was born there.
Come on,
Okay,
man.
he was born. His parents went there, right? His parents went there. One of his parents went.
The whole story.
His grandparents are the one who came to
grandparents.
Congo.
Okay, okay. Thank you for correcting.
Man, come on, man.
Thank you for the correction. But that's one of the points, right? He managed to defeat the M23 rebel. Okay, can you imagine if you have few of him and few of his mindset in that country, in that region?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And Carl, you don't need America. You don't need nobody. Yeah, go on.
I totally understand. You know, and Congolese example in some circle of Congolese, all those thoughts, all those brainstorming, they are in there, but there's nobody to do that. This is the thing you have to understand about Congo. Do you see the president who was the former president of Congo, the so-called Joseph Kabila in brackets? That guy, if you hear a lot of Congolese tell you that guy was not Congolese, it's not just because they don't like him or whatever. No, it's because of what we found out, what he was doing, and this is the thing, when you are infiltrated or you are captured from inside, people might be thinking, like the question my brother asked me,
Congo brother, let's address the issue. You guys, right? My brothers from Congo. We are francophone. Let's talk as francophone people.
Wait a minute.
Your people in America, right? Your Congolese people in America, right? I know. Your Congolese people. When I meet them in America, you know what I see in their face?
Let me finish that.
They're tapped out. Like no one. Most of them, when you talk about the conflict in your country, they're tapped out. They got the U.S. citizenship. Most of them are refugees over here. They don't care. That's what I'm saying, Jim. We don't even have no hope for Congo. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm like, wow. That's the first thing I know. These people don't want to go back to Congo. And I see that there is no resilience in getting the country back together.
What's going on with Brazzaville? Is that totally separate from the DRC?
It is separate.
I agree with you on that point.
It's a different animal. Have they been neo-colonized and captured for so long that they're not even part of the picture?
Is it the region like Congo? Yes, they have been for so long.
Yeah, I was there in 1986. I was in what is it?
Can I address it?
Bakongo. I was in Bakongo in 1986.
Did you? Okay, that's interesting.
Right. Listen. At the time, Zaire, right across the water, was the same people that are on one side of the river, on the same side of on the other side of the river. They're separated, and they talk about how they're separated, and they're telling me all of these things about how they separated them, how they taught them different things, and they taught the other side of the river. And I wasn't really that knowledgeable about politics. I was there studying the music and dance. But this was Mobutu was in office. You could see his palace from across the river. So, but the thing is that you never hear about Brazzaville, Congo side. You only hear about the DRC. And what's going on? I mean, it's like those two countries should not even be two countries. They should be one country.
Give me a minute to address it. First of all, we are not resistant or we are not resilient is not true. Because if it was not for resilience of Congolese people, I think you've heard, if you are following Congo, you've heard about the Wazalendo group, right? These are civilian patriots who they've seen that their army was captured from inside, and because of the corruption and the infiltration, the army is not really capable. Do you see, like the example of Mamadou which you gave? There is not only Mamadou. There is, for example, the former, before him, there was a Colonel Mbuja Mabe. He was also killed. There was a General Bauma. He was also killed. These are, the patriots. And right now, there still live some people. But now it's better because the president was there. That's why I said, not totally like Kagame. Yes, they might have the same boss, which you can trace back to the US. But at least this guy who is there is also corrupt. And he's in some area he's incompetent. But because he still has some part of him which is patriotic, he's rebuilding the army. You see, and he has incorporated those patriots, those guys. There was Anendo to help the army. That's why you saw M23 couldn't go further than South Kivu. That's why it has been a year. They've been stopped wherever they are. That's why even in the north they could not progress because of those patriotic Congolese resilient. These are just youth like me. Most of them I know them. I might be one of them. And their family, their friends, who they've said, no, we cannot leave our country to be invaded by these people. We're gonna fight, and they took a fight.
I'm not going to be going hard on you, bro. Do you know why? Because I'm from Sierra Leone. At the moment, we have a neighboring country called Guinea, who almost 90% of our population in Sierra Leone came from Guinea. We have the same surname, we have the same bloodline. We hardly had any borders. Who are still encroaching on our territory and taking our land and beating our soldiers up because we're not well equipped and taking the advantage of us. This is the problem we have in the continent. Sometimes when I hear African American brothers are saying, "Look, these dusty Africans, let's just leave them to the mess," they're just doomed. Sometimes they're not far from reality because we have been so divided. We did this. Berlin conference. This Berlin conference is a curse to the continent, bro. And some of our leaders are playing on it, bro.
Yeah.
But just remove the borders, and then you won't have no problems with them taking land. At least
it's not that simple.
What I was trying to tell you, if I remember, this thing happened. Mobutu got overthrown in '97, if I'm not mistaken. '97, right?
No, he was no longer there in '97. It was Laurent Desire Kabila.
Mobutu wasn't there in '97.
Oh yeah. Like half of '97.
Half of '97. That was the year he got overthrown.
He got
correct?
out. Yeah, he was taken out. Yeah.
So for us living in Africa, as a little kid watching everything on TV, since '97, and we're in 2026. And the Congo hasn't gotten better. Can you look just how many years? That's what I'm saying. Like you can't have a president. You can have a president who is puppet and is doing it. And today he's like, okay, I'm a puppet today, but tomorrow I'm trying to build an army. You said it yourself. If you guys got infiltrated, what I'm hearing from the Congolese side, one Congolese brother told me, actually in Congo, we don't even know who's Rwandese and who's Congolese. No one trusts one another in the army. So if you have a president who swing left and swing right, you're going to have to ask yourself, is that a true leader for the country? If it's not, you're going to have to pick something that at least will tell you exactly what are the actions he's taking to bring your country back. When I watch Kisekedi, nah, man, he drank the Kool-Aid. Kisekedi is not going to take you nowhere.
He's cheesecake, okay?
Right. Kisekedi telling you he's building an army. Watch, he's going to take you 100 years to build an army. I don't even think he has the intention to build anything, let alone even fight in the war.
He's been captured.
You guys have to, like I told you, that's why I brought 97. Look at it, 97 to 2026. It's a very long time for you guys to even go through this.
The outside forces are making sure that they never do get to a place of organizing and getting their shit together.
Absolutely. That's what I was trying to tell Carla. I watched the video when Mobutu, Kabila father, when I try to understand exactly what was the involvement of Kagame and Museveni in the war. So when I saw him, took a trip to him and Kagame met, and he was trying to, congratulate Kagame for everything he did for him. And he was like, okay, the agreement is you fulfilled your part, you got paid. Now it's time for you to leave the Congo.
to pull
Same
your
thing
army.
for Museveni. He said he did the same thing for Museveni. You helped me, I'm in power, I gave you what I owed. You can see in the video. First for Museveni. Museveni said, no. We come on, man. We in there, we ain't leaving because they found honey in Congo. They're not going. He said it himself. The region is too rich, too resourceful for them to walk away. Kagame said the same thing. Now they're turning around, giving the impression that a lot of Rwandese are crossing the border to destabilize their country. It's a lie. It's all about money, resources. You know, when I heard that Congolese should
are there.
Congolese shouldn't be negotiating with Kagame.
Trump made sure that happened. That Bezos and Musk, they have been licensed to mine there. That happened what, last year?
Yeah, I think guys, we got Burkina Faso and Taka. Maybe one of them should jump in because they've been waiting.
This is the thing.
Burkina Faso hasn't spoken at all.
This is what you have to understand. This is what we have to understand.
Yeah, greetings, everybody.
You know, the worst that can happen to the worst that can happen to a country that is unstable, fighting for its survival, is to have a puppet leader. That hurts more. You understand? It's better for you guys to not even have a president to even try to figure this out, but instead of having somebody who's giving you the impression that is doing something.
Not really.
Tshisekedi is not gonna move a needle. It's not.
This is what I look at it. Yes, I know that. That's why I don't like Tshisekedi, and that's why my whole family never vote for him, and we are planning not to vote for him as well in 2028. But this is what I will take from him, though. I can give him some credit. This is the credit I can give to Tshisekedi for over, I can say 18 years or 13 years that the former guy who was the president, Joseph, he couldn't even rehabilitate all the former military training center which Mobutu left and which fell into disarray. For example, the Kitona, there are so many, but Tshisekedi, at least to his credit, he's rehabilitating some of those centers, and that's where the army is being trained. So I can give him to that credit. For example, he didn't build enough roads to connect all these 26 provinces which are in Congo. Tshisekedi is doing something to that end, although it is 20% or 30%, but he's doing something in that end. So there is also the financing of the army or the cleaning up of the army. That guy infiltrated. That guy worked to weaken the Congolese army, the former president. But Tshisekedi, at least, he's cleaning up. There is a lot of officers, a lot of generals who have diverted money, who have took kickbacks from Rwanda, corruption, went into joint venture, into deals with Rwanda without the official channel, the government or the country to know. Because if you are you are a superior officer in the army, you are not supposed to do business with foreign entities. So some of those general, they are now in prison. Some of them, they've been caught. So that, to Tshisekedi credit, although he's gone into deals with, which are questionable, but he's doing something towards the cleaning up the army and the enforcing, or like the building up the real army, which can put up a fight against, be it Rwanda or Uganda. That's why I said, yes, I don't like Tshisekedi, but to his credit, there is something which is, he's doing right. So it will be up to
probably needs to control that money.
Yeah. It's not easy to control the whole country.
So by when we're going to see the end of the tunnel, based on your assessment, by when we're going to see the end of the tunnel?
Based on my assessment, like I'm gonna say, first of all, with this deal which he went into with United States, it's a bad deal for us Congolese. It's very, very bad. But at least through that deal, he can work out something which Rwanda can be told to pull back, to go out. Then me as a Congolese, I'm looking into another president who will come in 2028 to do the right thing, which supposed to be done by Congolese in that region, which is to put up a true army which can convince Rwanda and Uganda to not even mess up with Congo. And then through that strength, with security system strengthening and the identification of population and so on, and then the building, then we can renegotiate with the United States some terms of that deal. You see? Because this is what you need to know.
So you're gonna come back to the United States and take another deal, right?
That'd be interesting. That'd be really interesting.
This is the thing.
It's the most difficult place, man, because all the resources. Like, they're not going to stop putting pressure on it. That's what. It's the most hard.
Yeah.
It's going to take outside countries to come in and help. Bro.
Yep.
Yeah. Because
makes it
sad. Yeah.
And that's why the unity of regional unity and then sub-Saharan unity is crucial. If we do not unify, y'all, we're going to be towed back up for another 100 years.
Yeah, unfortunately, achieving that is not as the way how 10 of us or 20 of us may be on a panel and say let's unify, because it's not up to us only, but it's also up to the leaders which we have.
Well, and maybe the wrong people are leaders. Maybe y'all need to be leaders.
Of course, we are working on that. We are working on that.
That's true. Sometimes
you're
only
gonna have to mobilize militarily. That's what. At the end of the day, it's got to be that, man.
Yeah.
You say years ago, as you said, my brother Angolo, years ago we had Nigeria, who used to be the military power in the region. They squashed the war in Sierra Leone and Liberia and other countries, but then the West did not like that, and I think that's one of the reasons why Nigeria was destabilized, continuously, because they didn't want them to have enough power to control these things. And also the French are not happy with that. But the fact that Africa will have some internal issue that they don't need foreign intervention, that does not sit well with some Western powers. So,
Which is why the AES is so important, because if the AES has done the little that they've done in a short, done what they've done in a little amount of time that they had, that has to spread, that has to be protected, and that's it. That's all we got. Because if we lose that, what do we have?
Burkina
Faso. To be honest,
we're gonna come save y'all.
I think is a fact, because at the moment the coastal countries are not really equipped militarily to deal with anything. The only I was speaking to someone who actually was a senior military officer, in one of the West African countries. He said
I thought it was my turn to speak.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, let me just finish. You can come in. He said the AES was built to counter Nigeria, because they did not like Nigerian influence in the region. The AES was pre-planned. This was something that they planned for a long time. But he passed away now. He was these people that deal with metal work. But he used to be a senior military officer. Well, I'll pass the mic to Burkina Faso. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
Okay. We're very well, thank you, sir.
Doing wonderful, brother.
All right. So thank you, Dinus, for having me. What I wanted, maybe somebody brought this up, okay? But I'm going to tell you guys why I trust Ibrahim Traoré for this deal with the United States, okay? I'm trusting him because, not so long ago, he did shut down a program, another deal that he had with the Bill Gates Foundation, all right? And I'll explain quickly what the program was about, okay? Apparently, the Bill Gates Foundation sold the idea to our government, and the idea was to save the population from malaria, okay? So what they basically did is that they genetically transformed a bunch of mosquitoes, and then they were supposed to release them, and then apparently every single time that the mosquitoes bit people, but then it will provide to them the cure against malaria. This is what the mosquitoes were supposed to do, okay? And then I think the government found out that the mosquitoes were doing something different. The effect on the people was different from what the Bill Gates Foundation promised, okay? And they found out that the mosquitoes were stopping people from reproducing instead of curing them against malaria. And as soon as Ibrahim Traoré found out about it, he shut the program down and kicked the Bill Gates Foundation out of the country. All right. So this happened. St. James, you didn't hear about this one?
No, actually provided that information earlier. Maybe I didn't give the full scope of the story, but I just said, yeah, they shut down a Bill Gates Foundation research on malaria. I did say that. That's correct.
So they need to disclose whether or not there's going to be a mine deal with this, because there's nothing coming out of the government of Burkina Faso about the deal in terms of if there's going to be any mine business going on with it, with part of it, and also what is going to happen with data transfer, if anything. Those things have been quiet. They're not being talked about at all.
Brother, I will let my brother speak, but I'm like I was telling you, Ibrahim Traoré is not going to get away with a bad deal. Based on what I was just telling you, people are really looking into every detail that the AES is signing with their partners or anybody else. So the fact that he has the backing of the people, if that deal is shown to the people, and which would include data being shared to the United States that will undermine the country, or any mine deal that's been given to the Americas that will also undermine Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré is no longer going to be our president. I guarantee you that. He knows it.
Okay. Because Zimbabwe and Zambia disclosed that in the whole deal that they were proposing, that was what was the deal breaker for both Zimbabwe and Zambia. So in this deal, there's nothing that has come out yet, and I'm for Traoré, and I think that he has the intelligence. His ministry has the intelligence to be able to utilize that deal for many purposes. In fact, for geopolitical purposes.
Burkina Faso wasn't done yet.
Yeah, no, I wasn't done.
He let me interject.
Thank you for letting them know, Dinus.
Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Dinus, thank you for letting me on. Great show as always. May God bless you and your family. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. So the reason why I was bringing this up, okay, is that if Ibrahim Traoré had the courage to shut the program down, all right, the program that I'm referring to, okay, if he was courageous enough to shut it down. So then this is how I know that he's not going to be just signing any type of random program that could be harming the people. Because as soon as he found out about how bad this program was, but then he just interrupted everything and he shut it down and kicked Bill Gates and his foundation out of the country. Okay. I also know that he wasn't the only president who did it. I think the president from Namibia also did the exact same thing, because the Bill Gates Foundation was in her country as well, doing the exact same thing. Okay, and she did exactly what Ibrahim Traoré did as well. So this is what I wanted to share. And by the way, I hope I expressed myself clearly enough so that you guys can understand what the program was meant for. Okay, because I speak like French, and at times I don't translate things properly while speaking in English. So I hope you guys understood what I
Your accent is good, though, brother. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Oh, thank you.
Your accent is good.
Doing a very good
thank
job.
you.
Hey, Donis, I don't know if you guys can allow me to make a point of correction about something that I heard on your platform. I don't know if you can give me 1 minute, just 1 minute. There was a show that you did a day ago. And there was a brother here that live in England called Lewis. He came on your channel and lied again about Burkina Faso, right? Since we're on a Pan-African channel, let's set the record straight. In fact, yes, Kwame Nkrumah, when he took power in Ghana in 1957, he was working towards unifying Africa. We give him that. He came to Burkina Faso. There was a president. The first president of Burkina Faso was called Maurice Yambweko. He came there and he was with the dream of uniting Burkina Faso and Upper Volta. President of Burkina Faso, and the president at that time told him he has no problem. Both men, they walked to the border and kick a brick as a sign of them agreeing to work towards unifying both countries. You can go back and check it out. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown in 1966, if I'm not mistaken. Same year, our president was overthrown in Burkina Faso. So that deal didn't go through. Not because the Burkina Faso did not agree. He's lying, and I just want to get that clear. Both the president agreed at that time, but both got overthrown that same year, and the deal didn't go through. Every time Ghana put out a leader who is inclined to have a good cooperation with Burkina Faso, Burkina always respond. I can move forward to when J.J. Rawlings took power. There was a guy in Burkina Faso called Thomas Sankara. When J.J. Rawlings looked out for him, Sankara responded positively, and they got the best relationship in West Africa. So let's not come on here and lie, about things that you don't know about and trying to undermine other countries. My country has always been with anybody that want to unite with us every time. Thank you.
That's facts. The AES needs to invade all the countries in West Africa, man.
Yes, that's a strategy. and you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
I'm not so I like when we come up with stuff, but this white boy Jeffrey Sachs said basically the same thing, that you only need about 3 of the strongest countries in Africa to come together. And basically, he didn't say, but he inferred that you're going to take over all the other countries.
But
Yes, but I don't think that it has to be done through invasion, because if you remember, even in the AES, you remember that before it can be done by a leadership in the army, it started in grassroots. It was organization. If you remember, it was in there was like between 2015 and 2020, when like one of the activists well known in West Africa, what his name again? Brother Diners have met him, the Benin guy, Kemi Seba, when Kemi Seba and his NGO, he was through all those countries, mobilizing the civil society,
educating them politically.
The Ballet Citoyen in Burkina Faso. There was another movement in Mali and in Niger. You see, from
Amir Khan Cabral,
yes,
was the master.
What I think is that the success of the AES and with the grassroots already in other countries, like even in Ivory Coast, you will be surprised. There is also grassroots movement in Ivory Coast doing some work. In Senegal with Sonko,
Yeah, fire is a disappointment.
We'll continue. Yes, for now, because you have to be strategic. There is other things which people who are not in deep politics don't understand. But with work which is started already and which is ongoing, it will happen. The success of AES, it will send shockwave to all those other neighboring countries, and they will do it. It doesn't have to be through invasion. No. Invasion is not good, because through invasion people will be unalived and there will be resistance. No, it's like you want to impose something which is not coming from the people. That's not a good strategy.
I agree, but from just my anecdotal experience speaking with people, I think the majority of people still think in a colonial mindset. In the grassroots level, it hasn't reached a critical mass to where it can happen organically. That's why I'm saying it pragmatically invasion. But I agree, that's not going to look good. And the AES wouldn't even do that, because that's not their modus operandi. I'm just saying it needs to happen for us pragmatically.
Hey guys, we're gonna close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like,
Thank you.
subscribe. The next
Thank you for meeting you again, guys.
All right, nice. Thanks.